if I do.
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Heard all about on the radio.
Get ready.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. We're doing the show. Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
What's up, Mosuckos? What's going on? Welcome to the show. Woo! Wait! Thanks for checking us out. Good morning, good day. If you're listening in the future, what's up, future dude? Good evening, good afternoon, good night. We're Covino and Rich, available anytime on our Patreon. Thanks for being part of it. Hey, Dickie Tejas.
Hey, buddy.
How's it rolling?
I'm good, man. I just feel like I got no sleep last night. So, you know when you're just a little the next day? I haven't had my coffee yet.
Rich must be out of edibles.
Oh, I mean, I didn't bring them.
Let's be rocking out. Let's go.
Oh my God!
Holy mother nugget!
The Goonie, known as Rich Davis, live in Texas, New Braunfels. I'm here in LA with Spotty Boy. It's the show. Covino and Rich. Spot, technical, sort of obvious observation, but I feel a little muffled. I don't know if that has any translation into what people are hearing, but okay, well, anyway.
I haven't changed a thing.
What's up, Goonie? What's up, Rich?
Oh, yeah, no, I honestly, last night would have been a perfect night where I would have absolutely popped a little late night edible, but no can do.
Oh,
I'm in
man.
Texas. I wasn't going to travel with, I didn't feel like traveling with anything. So
I like when you're on edibles because you bring like random videos and random stories to the table because you thought they were fun and funny the night before. So now we're not going to get any. Dang it. I love that portion of the show. Shit Rich thought was great the night before.
I'm gonna try to take an afternoon nap. I really got no sleep last night.
That's hard.
Honestly,
That's hard
like
to
probably
do.
2 hours sleep. So
That's
I'm
hard to
like,
do.
ugh.
What was it? Like hot and restless, or like Ben was irritable? What was the deal?
It just
do you miss Piper?
I feel like it's hot everywhere, and I want it to to 60 and freezing where I sleep.
What do you mean hot? You mean
everyone
humid?
else in the
You mean
world seems
humid?
to think like 70 is better.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm having the same issues.
It's a dry heat.
But I did
Here.
have a nice sleep. I'm not going to lie. I think I slept too much. I was watching a little Jimmy McGill, still catching up on Better Call Saul. I'm on season 6 now, catching up to real-time Bill Maher style on AMC. But I started like the 3rd episode, and before I knew it, I was zoning out. I'm like, all right, fell asleep. Almost slept too much. Had a nice workout yesterday, a decent Monday. Have lots to get to. Sports, entertainment, and life. Rich, have a little sipperoo of your coffee. Cheers. You'll feel it.
Cheers.
You'll feel better.
Sarah went to go get me a coffee, so I still have not
Oh, a nice
had
dude.
my first little sip.
You know what was so funny yesterday, man?
Three Rivers coffee, some nice dudes.
2 River spot, not
Oh,
3
sorry,
Rivers. We're not in
sorry.
Pittsburgh.
Sorry. Fuck.
You know what's
2 Rivers.
funny about yesterday's show
What's that?
is how I think this is how I interpreted it.
About how you deny that you use a purse?
No.
That was funny.
No,
That was good. The
no,
best
there
part
was-
of yesterday's show was your purse denial.
No, there was a funny part of that conversation. No, the funniest part is how you think salsa makes you invisible, how hot sauce makes you disappear. Because it's like you forgot we were doing a radio show and you're like hiding your burrito and like everyone was watching you eat the burrito. It's like, why is he pretending that no one could see him right now? So anyone
How was
that
I hiding it? I wasn't
because
hiding
you're like
it.
this.
Because my plate is here, so I was leaning over my plate.
Yeah, but you know, for people that are watching, it looks like you were trying to get away with something, and I kept noticing it too. I'm like, why is he eating like a little like, you know, mischievous mouse or something in the corner? Yeah,
And am I correct in seeing what other people saw? That you take a bite of your burrito and then you do a shooter of salsa afterwards?
Yes, I what I do is I take a bite of the chorizo, egg, and cheese. Yesterday I had chorizo, egg, cheese, and potato.
Oh,
So-
you do some salt, you lick some salt, take a bite,
Yeah.
and then
So
you shoot the
I take a
salsa.
nice bite. of the chorizo, egg, cheese, potato, and then I do a little shooter of the hot sauce.
Shooter. Well, that's part of the benefit of, Rich in Texas. When he's here in LA, we get to watch him lick his little fingers with his little pound cake crumbs. When he's in Texas, we get to watch him eat a burrito. Anyway, we get to see him eat his burrito. By the way, there's lots of rando news. Hope you had a great Monday. Today, NBA Eastern Conference Finals, Monday, something to look forward to. We got a fun game to talk about. What are you laughing about, Spot?
Vic in Toronto. Rich,
what did he say?
Salsa Shooter Davis.
Yo, it was so funny, dude, because I actually watched the show back to, see what we could do better, see what worked, see what was funny, see what wasn't, to see what clips Spotty could pull for social media. And I'm seeing Rich eat his burrito. I'm like, does he think nobody could see him? That's how it looked.
I know people can see me. I was having my burrito, but I was leaning over a plate, and it looked like it. I guess it looked like I was dipping away.
It did. So I'm like, you're on camera, bro. But I didn't want to stop the flow yesterday. It's like, you're on camera.
Is he going to get it again?
I don't know.
Here's a for reference.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, hang on.
Here's for reference if you missed yesterday's show.
Also, you did it behind the velvet rope last night.
Yeah, I sure did. There it is.
There he is off in the
when
corner.
Rich acts like we can't see him.
Are you sure that's a burrito?
It's like,
woo!
When Rich acts like we can't see him because he has a magical salsa that makes him disappear. So let's talk about Monday before we dive into our Tuesday, okay? Had a fun show yesterday. It was a little awkward. It was an awkward show, I thought. So I planned on doing a lot better today. Even Biggie DeLine hit me up and said, yesterday's show was a little weird. I was like, yeah, I agree.
I think Biggie DeLine's fucking weird every day.
I think he's one of our best guys. Yesterday, after the show, did the whole dad thing, picked up Melody from school.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Who was the famous, was it Pete Rose or someone? Who was the person that moved on camera as if no one could see him?
Pete Rose.
Yeah, right? It was Pete Rose?
Yeah, it was Pete Rose. That's kind of how it felt. Yeah. But I was noticing it. Like, there was a part in the show, I'm like, I'm just going to keep going because I don't want to, blow his cover here. But pick Melody up, did some turbo and lithium. The same spiel, same deal. Watch the Yankees dominate again. They're just on fire. And it's great to see. It's their best start ever. It's the first time in the history of the Yankees where three guys have 10 or more home runs in the first 30-something games. So it's pretty amazing. Rizzo, there's Pete Rose.
I love that clip. Pete Rose just pops his little head in the frame.
I don't think this is
Rich
issue, but we
eating
saw
his burrito.
It. Kershaw. They're going to go to the bullpen. What
No, it's Rich's burrito. Pete Rose on Fox was fantastic. Why did they cancel Pete Rose? What did he do? He was talking shit about something.
I mean,
no, I don't mean his gambling past. I'm talking he was killing it on Fox with Frank Thomas and A-Rod. That whole crew was great. Kevin Burkhardt. And Pete Rose did something. I don't know. That's
a good question. You're right. There is something Pete Rose. He probably said something old school.
Said
and everyone's
something.
He was probably
did something.
Hey, ladies in the studio, get me a sandwich.
He did something where Fox didn't want to deal with it. And they're like, yeah, whatever. But he really was great. And his insight was incredible. But there was a famous scene, if you're not watching, where the camera's not even on him, but he was sticking his head into the frame. That's like Rich eating his burrito yesterday. But was watching the Yankees dominate. Rizzo, Judge, Stanton, all over 10 home runs. Josh Donaldson's bringing the heat. This dude's on fire. The team is just so fun to watch. The pitching's insane. And then I went to the gym, Rich.
By the way, the answer to the question is Pete Rose out at Fox Sports amid sexual misconduct. Women were saying that he was being creepo.
Yeah, I know it was something, which is a shame. You know what? I have some other cancel stories that I got to get to. And, I think it's a little overboard. People need to be realistic when it comes to who and what and why things should be canceled or not. And it's not the same old story, but we'll get to it later.
Did he? Was that him that said maybe you shouldn't wear a bra next time? Or am I thinking of Ron Burgundy?
That's Ron Burgundy.
I might have been Ron Burgundy.
I think. You know what? Before I tell you what I saw at the gym again, Rich, I do want to say that, Melody was there. I'm watching the Yankees. Melody's there, and she's like, hey, Dad, check this out. She showed me a picture she drew, and she's real private about her art, right? So I'm like, hey, Melody, can I post that? Oh, my God. I'm like, that's incredible. I'm like, you just did that? She's like, yeah, it took me about 30 minutes.
Why is she so private?
She
She's
sketched
fantastic.
this in 30 minutes, bro. But, there's turning points. Like, in every kid's life, right? There's a point where all of a sudden you're hitting the ball harder, you're draining threes, like you're getting over certain thresholds and humps in your life, right?
Yeah.
Or turning the corner and you're progressing. I've seen Melody progress. I've seen her artwork progress. I've seen her, get more detailed, and wow, it's getting better. I feel like she's turning another corner as we speak. And I'm like, wow, Mel, you just did that in 30 minutes. She's like, yeah, I just did that right now. I was like, dang, you just went one step further. Like at the gym, and all of a sudden you're just pushing it out harder. Like you just got into another level.
Or on the ball.
Yeah, Melody, it's fun to witness as a parent, especially because I've seen her talents develop to another level and hopefully another level and another level and another one and another one. But real quick, I just want you to see, and I'll pose a question too. I thought about it. Check out this picture she drew in 30 minutes yesterday. It's right before I went to the gym.
It's fucking incredible.
Her moniker's Rain. So it doesn't say pain, it says Rain. She likes to be artsy. That's her like little art moniker.
And I also think this that's my last name. Sorge. Does that say Sorge?
Yeah, but look at the hair detail spotty and everything. It's like
I'm amazed. No,
you know what I mean?
You know what does it for me? Not only the shape of the eyes, which is cool because I know that's a very like anime style.
Yeah,
but
it's
like
very
the
anime.
shading and the where it looks like freckles underneath.
Yeah,
it's that's
She's
incredible.
got real skill.
She
and
does.
Not only with sketching, with actual charcoal pencils and all her proper tools and paints and clays. Like she's really good. So my first question of the day, when you
Shading.
see your kids showing potential in something and when you see them progressing, as a parent, Rich, what do you do? We can see you drinking your coffee, just so you know.
Wait. You saw me?
Yeah, we can see you. It doesn't make you disappear.
Doesn't matter how many dudes you have in your mouth.
Here, let's reenact. Do that again. Here's me yesterday. Here's me. Oh yeah. So anyway, I'm thinking we could see you, Rich. What do you do to keep your kid on that right path of encouragement? Like, because all I'm doing right now is simply that, encouraging. Where I feel like, not that my parents ever dropped the ball by any means, but I don't feel they pushed me toward any direction of maximizing my potential at all. I'm not saying they didn't give me the tools or encourage me and praise me. They did all of that. But if I showed promise in baseball, they didn't send me to a baseball camp. I didn't have a private coach. I didn't have anything that would help me get to the next level that I couldn't get to on my own. There's going to be a point in Melody's life where she can't teach herself anymore. And she's in the art programs at school, but she's no longer taking private art. Like, what do you do in those moments? Like, because that's, as a parent, your responsibility, to push them in those directions.
That's the difference, I think, between the kid that gets the college baseball scholarship and the kid that's like a walk-on or trying hard. You need that extra push. Covino, right behind you on your shelf, I know you're going to say, oh, dude, that was in 2 minutes. But Melody took a little artwork thing that Emmy got in her Easter basket, which is it's like a black piece of paper.
I'll get it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a, how do you describe it? It's almost like a carbon
like a
paper.
scratch off.
It's like a scratch off paper. Like it has colors underneath, and you just scratch off the surface.
Yeah,
to draw
it's a black little piece of paper with colors underneath, and you sort of sketch with a little wood pencil. And Melody did this in like 2 minutes at the kitchen table, and I remember being like, "What?"
Now, dude, for a person like me who always admired art and drawing, like I'm so impressed because I don't have those skills. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it with the lighting, but can you see it? Yeah, it's another drawing she did. Literally,
tilted a little bit.
In like 5 minutes, she did that.
I was like, "Jeez."
And that's what's behind me on the camera here on Tier 2. As a kid growing up, I'd see my mom draw. She was pretty good. My Uncle Joey was incredible. And I always admired that, right? But no one took Joey's art that serious. No one really cared. Like, we appreciated it. Everyone knew he was good. But I see what my kid's doing at 12, and I know it's better than what my Uncle Joey was doing as an adult. Like, I know it's better. So it's like, all right, as a parent, it's like, I can't drop that ball on her when that is her, so far, most creative outlet that I see potential in. She could play the ukulele, she could sing, she could do both at the same time. She learns, she picks up quick. But I'm like, oh, okay.
Is your Uncle Joe like Bob from La Bamba?
My Uncle Joe looks like Richie, but is Bob from La Bamba, yes.
Yeah. The feedback we're getting points to what I was actually going to tell you anyway. Mauser said, get someone professional in the field to evaluate your kid. That's how he got to where he is with his son's hockey.
Right.
If you want a real assessment,
Yep.
and you don't want to pull the old American Idol in the 2000s, like everyone is not sure if their kid's good, and then you find out. Stu, who works in the art field now, said he took art class until he was 18. Then he went to college open houses where professors would sort of take a look at your work.
Put it this way, bro. She's so good. Again, that's just a sketch, guys. I'm not bragging. Like, I'm impressed. I have nothing to do with it, and it's really cool to see. If she really takes her time and really puts some effort into it, she's next level. Like, she did a project recently that they took at school and they framed it and put it in the hallway at her school. Yeah, and all the kids are impressed by it. Like, she's that good. And one of our listeners, I'm sorry, Spot, but let me get this out. Christina V hit us up.
I have a point.
And she said, that's fantastic. You must be so proud. She's really gifted. At my high school, I observed the art departments. And my favorite part is when I'm doing observations and evaluations. I love seeing the students' artwork. It just blows me away. She asked me if she's entered any district art contests or, is she doing anything next level? And I'm like, no, not that I know of, So I'm like, I feel like I have to do at least something.
Yeah,
like,
are you doing the equivalent of your mom not sending you to baseball camp?
I did a poetry contest once and won.
Did you, Spot?
No. There's two things here. One, it might just be like a passion of hers. But if you start pushing and driving and making her like do this training and it might drain the fun out of it.
You're right.
Like, how I love to cook?
Yeah.
But if I were to go to a cooking school, I know I would like become a professional chef. I would hate it because it would take all the fun out of what I enjoy doing on the side and make it more of like a task.
It's true. So I've had that experience.
That might, but at the same time, when I was a kid, I took trumpet lessons. Was I great? No.
But you did it because you liked it.
Did the trumpet lessons help? Yes. It did become somewhat of a task, and I hated
didn't help you
practicing.
get ass, I'll tell you that.
Oh, please. He played trumpet too.
I did.
Tell me more, sax boy.
So anyway, it's not about, hey, wow, look at my kid. Because everyone thinks their kid's great at some shit. But I think she might be next level exceptional when she actually puts effort into shit. The thing is, a lot of times she doesn't, unless it's school related or some shit like that. And I don't want to not encourage it the right way or push it the right way. I don't even know the right word to use to describe what I feel my parental duty could be, should be, might be. I'm not sure.
You don't want to become the stage parent.
Yeah, no, at all. But
Because
I also don't want to be the non-proactive parent either, right? So just cool to see, Rich, as your kid grows up, to see their own talents that, honestly, you've got nothing to do with at all.
Look at Tom Brady and his dad. You talked about this recently, and their bond. And he would push Tommy, and much like Mike hit us up saying, if you keep asking your kid, like, are you having fun? Do you want to keep doing this? Like, Tom Brady was always wanting to do more. His dad was like, am I pushing him? Am I pushing him too much?
Right.
There are kids, like Spot said, there are things that are a fun hobby. If you pushed it to the next level, it would not be fun anymore. But then there's other things where maybe if you push Melody further and further, this is her passion. And we fast forward 20 years and she's working in the art field as a designer. You don't know.
And you also want to keep your kid like on the right path, right? Like keep them involved in shit that they're into and keep them off of TikTok and bullshit that their friends are doing. Like you're trying to keep them on that right path. I don't know, something I was thinking about yesterday as I saw the potential and I saw it turn, another left and go next level.
You said TikTok. Have you thought about doing time lapse videos of her making these? And maybe
I
she's
don't have
like,
to do it. She does it. She's incredible at that shit.
Yeah, but maybe that's her entry to social media where you monitor it, where she posts like time lapse videos of her making these cool paintings and pictures and drawings.
And like on Instagram, have like just a gallery of her photos. It's not her. It's just her work.
And there's something else you need to be realistic about too, right? Like, let's say I pick up a guitar and I just start playing and people are impressed. Like, that's pretty good. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's really easy. You just think it's more difficult than it is because you can't do it. That might be the truth about her artwork. Like, what she's doing could be pretty entry level. But again, she's only 12. So again, parental duties.
I've been resisting it.
Just things that I'm thinking about as I see the progress, as I see the growth, and I wonder where it could be and where it could go.
My friend, her name's Lisa. You know her. You've met her. She's an art teacher in New Jersey. And she'll post, she teaches middle school. She'll post some of the stuff that these kids are doing. Like the detail and the coloring and the shading and the artwork. So if it's a skill that does need to be nurtured with the right teacher.
Or maybe I'm just overimpressed because I can only draw stick figures barely.
Much like let's say you want your kid to be a prime athlete and the coach just doesn't have the skills. You find someone else to bring it for the kid.
Hey, Rich, you ever think about that, though?
Like
Seriously.
our friend.
I mean, there's a couple factors at play. Number one, by the way, Spot, is that your friend? Could I could speak freely?
Sure.
Because you only gave like a first name. Is that your friend who dated a dude that loved getting things stuck in his ass?
It's also the girl, the cupcake girl. Yes. For people that have listened to the show for a while. Yeah.
The girl Spot's talking about. I remember her coming to us asking, like, is there something weird? I'm dating a guy that just loves when I stick things in his ass.
No. It was the girl. He loved eating her ass. He was very obsessed with ass play.
Oh yeah, both of them, right? Like him and her. Like everything was ass.
He liked
That's her ass. Man.
He was just like anytime they were together, he just like he wanted her ass.
Rich, you ever think about if, and again, this is no knock on our parents, right? They did their best and maybe money was an issue too. Who knows? But yeah, the conversation took a weird left turn about eating ass. I agree. Thanks for the feedback, guys. I appreciate that. If your parents, Rich, would have sent you to some sort of baseball camp or anything where you showed potential, you're right. That was the difference maker. You can only take yourself so far without the next sort of coaching and training. And I feel like I got to a point playing sports where I'm like, yeah, I'm really good. But then the other kids who were taking private lessons, who were getting coaches, private camps, they were working harder, getting better, where I was just like now at the same level because I couldn't get further on my own. Just something to keep in mind. That's all.
There's a few things at play. Pushing your kids if it's something they want to do, right? Like you said, whether it be baseball camp. Hey, would Covino have made it to the majors? Probably not. But hey, you think you might have been able to play pretty solid college baseball? I bet. I mean,
but where does that help end? It's like, hey, let's say you have a great relationship, right? What if you had like a relationship coach? Could your shit get next level dope? Like, you live with this mantra, Rich, endless limits. But I think sometimes to get there, you do need people to help you and coach you along the way. People who know more or can see things that you're not seeing.
Okay,
people that
so
can provide insight. It's like, Spot at the gym. If Spot didn't have a personal trainer, look at the gains he made versus the gains you and I have made hitting the gym regularly in the past fucking 20 years.
I also didn't
with the
have
proper instructor, he was able to do some noticeable difference in his life and body. It's like, well, where are we wanting to improve and how are we going to get there? I had all these thoughts about it and it's like, where does it end? Spot, your cooking is great. Think of how much better it could get if you actually took some lessons or something.
Right, I know, but I've in theory watched a lot of instructionals on it by watching the Food Network and
that's available.
Watching recipe videos and all that kind of stuff. So I've self-taught, but through online instruction, which a lot of people do. Like I'm sure if you went through and went online and found like tutorials and all this stuff, why don't you get her like a master class or something? See if she enjoys that.
Yeah.
Like start with an online course and see if she takes anything from it. And then maybe she's like, oh, it would be really great if I had someone to do this with or work with,
Zush pretty much nails it. We can move on, Rich. What I've learned in my life is natural talent will only take you so far. Natural talent is your God-given gift. It's what you do with it and what you make of it and how you nurture it to get to the next level. Natural talent only took me so far. It's only going to take her so far, your kids so far, everybody's relationship so far. And, it's just something to think about moving forward. And that's what I'm thinking about when I see, again, the progress. The end. That happened yesterday.
Someone texted us. I'm looking for a name. I don't see one, but 317 said, my daughter's 19, just finished her freshman year at Parsons School of Design in NYC. Prestigious.
Yeah.
She never took an art lesson, just a natural talent like Melody. My daughter was self-driven and self-motivated. It was her path that she made it for herself.
I hope, as a parent, that's all you hope for is that they continue down that path without you having to push them too hard and things like that. So just an observation, Rich. This is not a, hey, look at my kid. She's talented. Melody doesn't even like me sharing that shit.
302 says, my 14-year-old daughter has art skill. Got her professional lessons at a local art alliance. Happy to put money into it, but also trying to help her explore and steer long-term practical careers that incorporate art like graphic design, architecture, and fashion.
Yeah.
So, art doesn't necessarily pay the bills for everyone.
Yeah.
But there are ways to use that skill in other
By the way,
means.
bunch of wackadoodles in that world too, though. You know what I mean? Like, I see all of Melody's teachers and all the people in her program.
Yeah, a bunch of Miss Lippies.
Bunch of weirdos, respectfully. Talented weirdos.
Right.
I wrote down a bunch of notes. And by the way, Spot, every time you said self-taught, all I can think of is self-taught, no less. Who said that in the movie?
Steve Buscemi.
Of course. Wedding singer. Self-taught, no less.
Is it, guitar, right?
Yeah.
I just saw that.
I think Spot and you nailed a few things. I wrote down all the things you nailed, and we'll move on.
Oh.
The personal trainer is a great example because it's such a regular person example where, hey, you've worked out without a trainer. You've worked out with a trainer. There's a clear difference of when you have a professional helping you, and that's the most day-to-day easy example for anyone to understand.
It really is. So imagine if I got Melody a professional art teacher, right? That helped her get to where she may want to go. I don't know. She's only 12, but that is a difference maker in whatever it is that you do, whatever it is. As a parent, you personally, your relationships, your job, right? Like if I really wanted to be a voice actor, right? There's so many people way ahead of me because they're getting coached on how to do it.
And then I wonder, like you said, when we were kids, what if Marianne and Greg were like, oh, Richie's like a cheesy kid and he's a handsome boy. What if they made me like a kid actor? You don't think I have it in me that I could have been like a kid actor?
Yeah. Did you show the passion for that though? That's the difference.
Yeah,
you're right.
I was always in the school plays as the lead, but can I give you a great example? And
sure.
It worked out for me because I have the most amazing wife because of it. But when Sarah was a teenager, she was approached by like top level modeling agencies to come out to LA, come to Paris, come to these things. And, at the time, like David Hoots and everyone's like, well, we live here in Texas. I don't know if that's so easy to do. And I'm like, what if someone pushed Sarah to do like modeling on a level, like for all I know, like Sarah could have been like fucking Giselle Bundchen,
Isn't that wild, man? Yeah. Sometimes you need that little oomph, that little push.
Remember when who was it? The Chinese wanted to recruit your dad to play ping pong?
Yes. Imagine.
I mean, these are all different timelines in the butterfly effect. No, but for real though, like Sarah was asked to go to these different cities and meet with these recruiters and stuff. And it was just she's a teenager living here in New Braunfels. but she was tall and pretty and everything they were looking for then in a model. And I'm like, Sarah, you could have been like, for all you know, in a different timeline, if your parents were the opposite of the way that the approach they took, you know, I wouldn't be with you, which would suck, but who knows where your life would have taken you. You know, that's a weird thought.
As Fred Durst says, though, everything happens for a reason. So
now a couple other thoughts, Covino.
I'm glad you're feeling me on that, though. But go ahead. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
There are things that you might think, well, how much better could Melody get if she had a teacher? Jason hit us up saying his friend's kid was an elite football player. They wanted to make him more elite. He studied with a speed coach and somehow got faster. Our buddy, former Major League Baseball pitcher Joe Beimel, is the best example of this. Joe Beimel, who Spot has the greatest ass in Major League Baseball.
I want to know who his ass trainer is.
Yeah, who's his glute instructor?
Who's his glute instructor? Let me get that guy.
He's definitely achieved new heights.
Right?
But Joe Beimel, I'll give him a shout out. He runs Beimel Athletics. He's a retired Major League Baseball player. Covino, you've seen the before and after videos he posts. He works with like a high school kid who throws 85, and Joe works with his arm angles, his momentum, his everything. And within a year, now he's throwing 96, and it's like, what?
Our buddy Fresh D does that up in Canada with his thing.
He does, yeah.
Baseball training.
Yeah. It's incredible. Yeah, you need that extra push sometimes.
So could you throw 10 miles an hour faster if you had a pitching coach? Could you be a graphic designer, a star, a model? Here's a couple of things I did want to bring up, though. One last point on the negative side, not to
because
be a
again,
negative
why?
Nancy.
You could only get so far with your natural talent. Like, don't think Rich and I didn't have coaching when it came to our hosting and things like that. Of course we have, you know, and that's why we're maybe better than most people. Is that what people want nowadays? I don't know. But we had consultants, we've had instructors, we've had people who knew more than us.
Also, too, it's like you do need, back to my trainer mention, you know, I could go to the gym on my own, but he pushed me beyond, like, you know, he always...
What's the difference between try and triumph? A little umph.
You know, he helped me get an extra rep because he's like, you can do it. Like, where I would tap out, he's like, no, do it. Or where he would add, where I wouldn't add weight, he adds weight. He's like, just do it. So you do need that push.
Spot, you would have got in good shape, but you are the best example of a guy that was motivated, and by hiring a trainer and spending the money, you maximized your output.
Yes.
Kevin?
I thought it was Eric.
Yeah.
Kevin.
The rooster?
Kevin.
The rooster. Right. And Covino, my one, not negative, but my one other side of this is you will, I'm not saying in your case by any means, but I'm saying sometimes people may get the rude awakening of, well, is your kid or are you as special as you think you are?
Of course. Yeah. As her parent,
for instance,
I'm just impressed because I suck at that stuff. So
no, but what I'm saying is, like, look at American Idol. Now I know it's a reality show, but how many times do people like, Jenny's the best singer right here in South Kentucky, and she gets there and they're like, yo, you got a beautiful voice, but nah, sorry, dog. Like, everyone's got a good voice. Like, Covino, how many times do you say, you go, yo, Covino pointed out two things to me in our 20 years together that made me really think. Covino goes, yeah, every girl's got legs, because I used to stare at like nice shiny legs, and he's like, yo, every girl's got legs. That don't impress me. I'm like, huh. Well,
now everybody could buy anything, because my point then was, yeah, well, you know, look at that ass on that girl. Like, look at those tatties. Now anybody could buy fake
I would point out like shiny legs in the summer, and Covino would be like, yeah, what? She shaved her legs and glistened them up. Everyone's got legs. I'm like, oh, he's right. You know what, Covino? You also pointed out every high school in every town has the girl or guy that's a phenomenal singer. That means nothing.
Well, I always say there's a lot of talent out there. And, you know, you still want to, again, encourage it the right way. And that's really what it comes there. Push it the right way, which isn't really the right word. But that's all I was thinking about yesterday. And that's just one random thing I was able to snag a picture of. I had to beg her, please, Melody, send me a picture of that. I want to post it, you know. Thank you. Anyway, I'm going to let Spot do some artwork too in a minute, because I have another story to tell you.
Oh, and the one last thing, Covino,
I'm sorry.
In the world of fitness, like Spot knows this from his personal trainer. Kevin. And you guys actually came with me to a fitness competition my wife did back in the day. Aren't you always amazed at the guy or girl that enters like some type of fitness competition or someone that shows up for a modeling thing that they've been told too much positive shit and they're just not cut out for it? Like the girl that's like good looking, but she's not great looking and she's really thinks she's going to end up being a model, or the guy that's like not the best athlete, but he won't give up because he's like, oh, I'm really good. Like sometimes there's a reality that you need to accept.
I couldn't agree more with you, but now that I'm really thinking about it and I'm in that zone, my first initial surface thought would be with what you just said. But maybe that's where they showed the most potential, right? Even though they're not that good, maybe that was what they had the most passion in and showed the most potential in, and they really didn't have anything else. But hey, something I'm thinking about, and it's cool again to see the progress and the next level of these improvements, as I'm sure all parents have seen throughout their child's life. Then I got home, watched the Yankees win again, like I said, and there's a Yankee story that's kind of upsetting me right now, and I'll get to it later. But I went to the gym because I'm trying to get that pump back a little bit, right? And just when I need Spawn, he goes to take a shit or whatever he's doing. But I mentioned this the other day on Fox Sports Radio, Rich.
Did he water my roses yesterday, by the way?
I don't know. I did notice that they looked a little sad today when I was walking up.
Oh, come on, bro.
I don't know. You have to ask him.
What if Johnny Calabasas walked up to you at the mall?
I mean, sometimes you got to take that chance, right?
You should be a model, but I'm 40.
Johnny Calabasas. Hey, Spot, how was Rich's rose garden yesterday? Did you water it?
I did.
Okay, see? There you go.
Thanks, bro.
I watered, I filled that bucket like 30 times.
Oh, you're the man. Thanks, Spot.
I watered by the house. I watered the side. I watered the.
How do they look?
I mean, they look the same.
Okay.
It was a nice, beautiful sunny day yesterday. Today it's a little cloudy, so the water should hold.
So that conversation went entirely way longer than I wanted it to. I hope it was interesting.
What do you?
No, I just didn't want to. I didn't want it to be like a self-serving conversation. I wanted it to be more about our endless limits and how to achieve them and the right ways to do that.
Hey, listen, what you're trying to do is you're trying to make sure you're not bragging about your kid.
Yeah.
But don't worry, bro. Your daughter's talented. You're allowed to brag a little bit. You're not. No one's saying, "Man, let's look at Covino." Don't worry. I promise you.
Every parent thinks their kid is great. Now,
I know.
The gym, trying to get that Swolvino, right? I'm trying to play catch up, trying to cram in extra workouts for all the time missed. And I mentioned this on Fox Sports Radio, and it sort of got brushed over, but it's kind of a funny story because I can't even describe it without potentially a visual to go along with this. So, Spot, I'm going to put your artwork to the test. I mentioned this the other day, and I saw it again. There's a guy at the gym, and I almost feel like, are people punking me? Are people trying to go viral? Everyone's doing a photo shoot. There's cameras everywhere. This is Los Angeles, and we live in the time of TikTok and people wanting to post gym selfies all the time. Is this for real? There's a guy, and my first observation is this at the gym. If you go to the gym and you're wearing not gym shorts, like regular shorts, you really shouldn't even, you're really not getting a good workout in. And I've done it. Like I've worn these to see, these are regular shorts.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Regular shorts.
Stop junking me.
Yeah. If you're rocking those on the treadmill or on the bench, like I'm not taking your workout serious, right? Like it's like, all right, man, can you get off? Cause I'm trying to get a decent workout in here. You're wearing like cargo shorts.
Well, I'm not going to lie, Covino, at the gym, you know who's usually rocking like the not appropriate clothing? The Vatos Locos.
The foreign guys. No, it's always foreign guys, right? This guy's wearing slacks. He's got New Balance and slacks on. Like,
I remember when I lived in Jersey City. Do you remember there would be like the Indian dudes that would work out in like polo shirts?
I hate to stereotype, but it's often an Indian guy, right? He has slacks on and his like regular guy shoes. It's like, what kind of workout is this guy doing here? Come on, move on. So I noticed this guy, I mentioned him before, but he's there again. He wears regular shorts. He's not wearing like gym shorts, regular shorts. And I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, it's a partial crime.
It's
not
a partial
full.
crime.
It's acceptable.
Like today, if I forgot to bring shorts, which I didn't, and I need to go to the gym in between this show and picking up Melody, I might have to rock these while I hit the treadmill. Like, who cares, right? It happens. I get that. But I notice it a lot. Like, if you're wearing khakis, like, you're not really getting a good workout in. Now, this dude who I mentioned the other day, I got to tell you what he was doing, and he was doing it again. And I can't even fathom, like, this process. Spot, pull up the incline bench. Everyone knows what an incline bench is?
Yes.
It's a workout bench that's inclined. The workout, I guess,
All right,
your
picture
upper
this.
chest.
It would be like your seat in your car.
Yes.
Really back.
Right.
All right,
So show me, Harry. Now pull up the incline bench. Rich, I got to tell you. All right, now draw a body, but the head is where the ass would go. So the guy goes down belly first.
hold on.
He's not sitting on the incline bench. This guy is laying with his belly on the back and his head like where the ass goes, but his head is sort of lifting up. So he's laying on it on his belly.
Is he using it as a leg press because the leg press machine was taken and someone told him this was
Dude,
okay?
I swear to you, I'm like, is this guy trying? Like, I'm looking for the camera. I'm like, how is everybody not looking at this guy right now? And what's even more aggravating is when you're trying to use that bench and someone who's like so off the mark is on it. And when I say off the mark, I'm being a little rude too. It's like, you're hopeless. You know, I feel that way when I want the bench. I'm not going to lie.
So the head is here, right? The head is there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there.
The head is
Yeah.
there, and
All
it's
right.
kind of like looking at me. It's like, it's
so
not
it's
facing
looking at
down. Yeah. And his body is going up
Got
the
an
bench.
X. So his body's like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. He's laying like that, right? But his legs are spread out, right? And he's got 80-pound dumbbells.
His legs are spread out.
80-pound dumbbells on the balls of his feet.
80-pound dumbbells.
Wait, dumbbells, not a bar?
No, dude,
So
dumbbells.
dumbbells on his feet.
On one foot.
Oh,
so
just one foot?
he's
Okay.
pushing up.
And then it's going up this way?
Yes. So he's using the balls of his feet, his 2 feet,
Hold
right,
on.
to push up 80-pound dumbbells while he's on an incline bench. Dude, I can't, even with your telestrator spot, which, you know, I wish Melody was here to do this because you're terrible. Boom, boom.
the
So
best
wait
I
a
can
second,
do.
boom. I can't even begin to tell you how aggravated I get when I'm watching this guy. Like, I can't hold back my disgust because here I am, curls for the girls, looking at this guy like, the fuck are you doing, jerk off? Are you done yet? Because that's how I feel. Like, are you done? Because you're hopeless and I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
bench.
Like, I'm so angry. Like, I'm angry when I'm just trying to get on the bench and I'm seeing this. Guy's wearing pants. He's got his feet up in the air. He's laying on an incline bench. And it's like, I know it's a very common thing to see people post videos of, like, what's this guy doing on the universal machine?
It's got to be some type of funny, unconventional workouts at the gym video.
Dude,
like,
I'm
he's got to
telling
have one
you,
of his buddies.
Here's the thing, though. The thing is, this guy is straight up legit, and I think he's seen me. Like,
All right, let me see if I can find this.
he
Decline.
thinks
So
he's-
it's a decline
leg press?
leg
I don't know. So he's using 2 feet
raise
to raise
with
80-pound dumbbells. Like, that's a lot, dude. Like, it could fall back on his head.
Injury waiting to happen.
Yeah, injury waiting to happen. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? And he's dead serious about it. And I'm looking around
face
like,
down, right?
face down. It's
Oh, you ever
wild.
see that ripped brother on social media where he's doing pull-ups and he has everything in the gym hanging on him?
I love that guy.
One day I'm gonna have to try to sneak a picture just so you can see because I can't even describe it.
Like
but I have to tell you,
I know the when you're on your back and you lift your legs.
no, dude, this guy's on his
because that works
belly.
abs.
No, he's on his stomach and he's pushing up. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and he's serious about it. And I feel like he kind of mean mugged me because he saw the disgust in my face watching him. Like, are you done with your fucking clown exercise? And I got to tell you the level of disdain that I feel. And again, it's all relative to the size of your steeple. It's all relative because when Johnny Ripplepeck sees me on the bench and he wants the bench, he's probably like, all right, chubby Vato guy, It's time for the real workout. But that's how I feel when I see some middle-aged lady doing her like on the bench. I'm like, all right, lady, let's get on with it. And when I see this guy, I'm just like, come on, bud. It's just,
Are the movements at least controlled?
No, it's
Dirk is saying that he's seen fitness influencers do weird things like this. So I promise you, it's probably someone making like videos on the sly.
Yeah, I
got to show you next time. I saw him again.
You can always tell the people that saw like Instagram workouts because I'll go out. I'll even see them. I'm like, is this a valid exercise? I'm like, should I be doing this? And I'll go and I'll look and they'll be like, you don't need to do this.
Put it this way.
He's
pushing
not
up
getting any benefit
an
out of this.
80-pound dumbbell with the balls of his feet, right? With his feet pushing it up. If it were to slip, because there's nothing gripping and holding this other than balance, it would fall in the middle of his back or his head. Like, you know what I mean? Like it would fall onto him, causing a serious injury.
Like I was,
and no one's stopping him.
I was telling you. I remember when I was doing my trainer. Part of it was during the pandemic, so we had to be outside. So you don't have all the equipment that you need outside. So I laid flat down on a bench, but flat, and put a dumbbell in between my feet and used that to do hamstring curls. So is it something like that?
No, because you're pushing up with the top of your feet. This guy's pushing up with the bottom of his feet.
No, it was the bottom. It was so it's like you would lay. You would kind of.
You know what it's like? Spot. I know what you're saying. Spot. You're describing like a real thing. Covino's saying like this guy's doing the equivalent. Have you ever seen someone on the elliptical where they have both feet on one thing and they're just goofy like? Ooh,
it's like Jordan at the gym. Remember that video of Jordan at the gym on her TikTok?
Yeah.
Just acting the fool because you see people who are clueless, but this dude thinks he's doing something. And I don't know what it is.
I love the people that, and I'm sure there's some validity to this, but where they are on the leg press machine, but they're like leaning on their side and they're just doing like a Chuck Norris side kick. You ever see that where they just press with one leg, but they're like leaning?
It's like everybody. I try not to be judgy, right?
My favorite.
Do you have a favorite? What misuse?
My favorite misuse of a machine.
Okay.
For all men is the adductor machine. The spreading of the leg one, which I do.
Oh,
because it helps my piriformis.
I thought it was the vagina workout.
But for girls, they somewhere online this started.
Oh, that's not the vag tightener?
No, it's not. That's the other one. That's the one that goes in. This is the one that goes out. You're pushing out. Somewhere online, someone said, yeah, if you stick your butt in the air, you're going to get a better glute workout, which is not the case. So they all they grab onto the main part of the machine and they have their butts lifted in the air and then they're spreading their legs.
You know what? You're right. That's probably how that shit starts. Someone says it goes viral. Some ass girl,
you know what I mean?
Some ass girl on
like
TikTok.
Jen Selter or something.
Yeah, like a Jen Selter type.
Let me find a video of this.
And now, it goes viral and everybody's doing some stupid shit. But it's the real deal, man.
The other creep trend at the gym, if you talk about people filming themselves, I don't want to call him out, but I think it was Chris Rucker, the all-night sucker, who was saying that girls now are sneaking like provocative, creepy photos of the gym with people around. Did you see the one he sent us?
No.
It's like girls will be at the gym and like when they think no one's looking, they'll like pull down their pants and take like an ass selfie and then like quickly pull up their pants.
Oh, really? Wow. Anything
let me see if I could find the one he sent.
Anything to go viral. Yo, David Castillo hit the nail on the head because I was thinking it. I just didn't say it. I feel like he felt my Vato vibe. Like he said, maybe this guy's doing a Cirque du Soleil sort of workout. That's what it looks like. It's like his body's contorting in a way it shouldn't be, and it's annoying to me when I'm trying to get on.
You see how the butt's up in the air? Like, I'm pretty sure that's not very stable for your body.
Oh, but girls think that works the ass, but I don't think it does. You're right, Spot. That's one of those perfect example.
Workout misinformation, Geoff. I agree. Misinformation.
I don't mind observing. And in my mind, I'm like, man, that's wrong.
How annoying is it, though, seriously, when it comes to, the
wrong.
courtesy at the gym and the observations that we make? Sorry. How annoying is it when you just want to get your quick 3 sets in?
I know.
And someone's there who, again, like I said, I feel bad saying it, but they're hopeless. And they're there I'm looking at my clock and you're doing everything else in the meantime to come back to use it. And it's like, half hour later, they're still on that bench or they're still on that machine. It's like, yo, dude, let's go.
It's not a text bench.
Let's go. Like, come on. You saw me do the lurk like 3 times. Step on it a little bit. people just so unaware and in their own stupid zone. But the end, I had to bring it up again because I only mentioned it on Fox Sports Radio. Then I saw the guy again. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. I can't believe that someone's not stopping this dude. And you know what I noticed, Rich? A total side note, but it happens to me at the gym. When I'm in the parking lot, there has been a few moments recently where someone stops to talk to me or pulls their car up to ask me a question. Like, hey, can you tell me how to get to P.F. Chang's? I mean, it could be anything. Yeah. I notice, like, I get on guard like you don't even know anymore. I'm like, what's up, fool? I'm so, like, ready to fucking go. Like, what's this guy want? What's, you know, like, I don't know if it's, like, L.A. or I'm on edge, but the second someone, like, wants to ask me anything innocent, I'm, like, ready, like, all right, what's this guy want? Like, I'm on a crazy level of on guard where I never was before. Where I'd be, you know, now I'm like, what? And I'm like, is this guy going to start with me? Oh, my God. Pull my headphone out because I can't hear him.
You know what? You and
That's a total side note.
You and I operate so differently, but I get it.
No,
Some
but then
people
I'm
are more
extra
on,
kind.
you know.
And then I'm super duper kind. But I'm like, I don't know what they're going to say to me. So I'm real on guard when they're pulling up to me or they're approaching me. I'm like, all right, what's this guy going to say that's going to piss me off? Luckily, it's just been random, you know, like, hey, man, can you how do I get to 24-hour fitness from here?
Aren't you at 24-hour fitness?
I'll see them in the parking lot. I'll see people, and they'll approach me, and they'll stop. And I'm like, yo, man, is this some Better Call Saul shit? Am I getting shot down right now? What's going on? What's the word?
What's happening?
Yeah, what's happening? So I notice I'm way on guard, like a total side note, more than I ever was before.
Now,
so the end, my gym observations.
Rich would hop in the back of someone's car. Hey, get in my car.
No, but then I realized like I was a little aggressive, so I overdo it with kindness, you know?
Yeah. To wrap up the gym talk spot, I sent you a picture that, let's just say one of our pals sent us. This is apparently one of the new trends too, where girls are sneaking scandalous photos at the gym when no one's, quote, looking.
I sent this to you.
No, you did not send it to me.
Who sent it?
Yeah, you didn't send it to me. So maybe you did, but someone else sent it to me first. So
this is a screenshot from my phone.
When did you send this to me?
This is a screenshot from my phone. You know what? It was on our Instagram that I was going back and forth with someone.
Yeah, but Rich is infamous for that.
This
he tells
is
you
a
stories.
screenshot
I'm
from my
looking
phone.
directly at the DMs that someone sent me.
I
don't know what you're
side,
saying.
What side of the DM?
I can't blame Spot for
Is the picture
assuming
on?
that
Show
because
me
you tell me stories straight up that I told you.
It's
And I'm
from
like,
it's from
this
our
guy's losing
side.
his mind.
I sent that to someone. It's from our side of the DM. Did you notice that? I sent it to someone. That's why I didn't send it to you, but I was the sender of this.
Oh,
photo.
then this person then resent it to me, and now I'm looking. Okay, so you sent it to this person, then they sent it to me.
Because this person and I have a little back and forth about
Clandestine
about photos of girls at the gym.
All right, so you sent it to him. He then sent it to me. So on our thread, it
Nobody
shows
sent it
that
to
you sent it to
me.
him. Okay, fair. So I got it from this guy. But yeah, show
Sorry,
this
let me
picture.
get rid of
Take
the,
away your telestrator.
No, I don't want to.
You took this picture, Spot? You saw this?
No, this was someone's post.
Oh my God.
And she's like, "How's my form?" And she like, this is a video though. So she's sitting on the bench and she's just pulling up her pants.
Creeps.
What's that guy?
Creeps.
What's that guy in the background doing?
I'll help her with her form.
How's her form? I'll give her some tips. It's actually incredibly horrible, being as what kind of bench is that? What's she doing there? She's not using that bench properly. He disappeared, so it's on you.
Oh, that's why you put it on me. Okay.
He like used the 3 seconds that I pulled up the photo to go pee.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, go pee. I saw that picture that you sent to someone that they sent to me, and I was like, damn, are women doing that, huh? Bunch of creeps.
I just want credit for my creepiness. That's all.
So two things I want to point out before we move on. I got a lot of stuff to get to. Some good stuff, I promise you'll love. But two things. A couple people said there's no reason to ever be on your phone at the gym. I disagree because a lot of people go to the gym during the day, and in between sets, I'm checking emails, I'm checking things because you're checking to see if anything's going on in between sets. You have 30 seconds, you have a minute, whatever you're doing, or if you're walking around the gym. I'm not anti holding up the process. I'm not sitting.
No, because Rich is right. You got to have a break in between sets, right? So either you're sitting there doing nothing, or you're looking at shit.
You get a glance, and unless there's a notification from someone that you need to follow up on, if you start looking through things, chances are you're going to get distracted and more time is going to go by than you think.
I mean, that's how you feel. Yeah. If you're not that person,
unless you're
you feel
using your phone, which I've done to track your workouts, then there's no reason that you should be like looking through Instagram, looking through this, because you.
No,
will,
I'm just saying, like, if I'm at the
distracted.
gym and I do a set, my phone's right there with me, so I'm like, let me check. It's the end of the stock market day. What's happening?
What happened?
All right, next set.
What happened in the last 45 seconds?
Hey, what's
that you need to check up on?
What's the Mets score?
All right, what happened in the last 45 seconds that you need to check up on? Do it in between do it walking from machine to machine. You're on a machine for 5 minutes. You can't wait 5 minutes to check your phone.
I admit I do what Rich does, but I also acknowledge that it's probably a bad look to the guy who's trying to get on.
It's not a bad look if
horrible.
you are.
No, you're horrible. You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Good. I want to be part of the problem. That's my new stance. I don't give a fuck. I'm part of the problem.
Wait 5 minutes until you're done. You know what you use?
No.
You know what you use when you're on the machine? You use that time to stare at women doing squats. And then when you're walking in between machines, that's when you'll be like, okay, the Mets have updated their score in the last 5 minutes.
Maybe I'll use that time to give some vato nods. Maybe make some friends. Hey, good set.
What was it? What did we learn yesterday? You say, oh, it's nice. You got some nice shorts there.
Yeah, compliment them.
Compliment them.
Yeah.
And,
I think that's the perfect time to check your phone.
Nope.
Is in between sets
Not
when you're waiting.
I do it. I'm guilty, but not a good look. Not a good look.
No, it's not a good look if someone's waiting for the machine and you're dilly-dallying.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't know.
There's a big difference between checking and not.
Dude, as soon as I did my last set on the bench yesterday, these two women came right up to me, and I was like, "What's up?" They're like, "Are you done?" Because they,
like,
they were waiting, and I didn't know they were waiting. Had no clue.
Everyone agrees with me.
Yeah, you know what? Spot is right, bro. But I can't say that I'm not guilty of it.
You can glance at your phone. There's no, but unless.
But if you're changing a song or, you're picking
fine.
music, right? So.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be something as simple as like, all right, finish the set. Oh, Sarah texted me. What do you want for dinner? Maybe we'll grill up some chicken. Put my phone down. Next set. Like, I'm not like phone away at the gym. I'm not scrolling through TikTok. There's a big difference. Like,
said you're
some
checking
people are
box
like
scores,
phone
you're
away.
checking news,
Fuck that.
You're checking
Stocks.
your stocks. You're checking things that don't need to be checked in a 5-minute period. Responding to your wife is a different story.
I'm addicted, bro. I'm addicted to social media. I'm addicted to edibles. I'm addicted to everything. Lock me up, bro. Lock me up.
You know when I take my selfies?
You're locked
when I put my weights back down.
Crappy TikTok
I put my
videos.
weights back down on the rack, and then I take my selfie and I walk out.
I'm an addict, bro. I don't know if you want to get wrapped up with a guy like me.
Man, Spot, you would hate Rich at the gym.
I would.
If you were waiting for like
That's
the
why
pec
we're not
tick.
gym bros.
I know. Well, again, the clownery.
Rich, we can see you drinking your coffee.
The buffoonery I see at the gym is next level, and more than ever before.
Yeah, it's bad.
More than ever before, again, with the cameras and everybody in their own zone. Headphones have always been a thing, but there's really like little to no interaction. People are really just doing their thing.
Where do you stand on
I'm the problem, bro.
correcting people at the gym?
Well, that's how I feel with this guy. I'm like, what's this guy doing?
No.
Like, it's one thing when this guy's just doing a crazy workout.
Do you work at the gym?
No, but sometimes I see like our gym, especially Rich.
If some guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, bro, when you're doing lat pull downs, you should really isolate your," I'd be like, in my mind, I'd be like, "Fuck off, doofus."
The gym we go to, the one I go to after here because it's close, and the one you usually go to, there's a lot of young kids, and they're just flopping weights around. And I'm
No,
like,
I'll be honest.
they're just like
But
this.
I know what you're saying. Let them get hurt. Fuck them. Let them get hurt.
Why?
Because I agree.
Why
I
is
see
strong
kids. I
stance?
see kids doing the thing. They're so young. You know when you're so young that you don't get hurt because you're 20. I see kids doing like bicep curls and they're like, huh. You know when you put your back into it, they're doing shit like that. And in my mind, I'm like, you're form, but what am I gonna do? You're 20. Hurt yourself, you little prick.
I was just thinking because like if I were their age, they have the potential. They have so much potential. They're so young, great metabolisms. They could be jacked within a couple of years if someone taught them proper form. They'd be. If someone did that to me, if I could go back in time, if someone did that to me, I'd be so happy.
So, Rich, I'm pretty much done with my adventures, but I got one more story to tell. And my story's sad to tell.
I have all these stories about all my addictions.
Cool. Then I could wrap it up right now. So on my way back, gym's over, blah, 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 watching the Yankees, the whole deal, the whole spiel. I'm driving and talking to my parents, and I'm like, I gotta go. There's a cop pulling me over. Cop pulled me over. Oh. And dude, I have no one but to blame but myself. That's the truth. Full accountability, not pointing fingers, not singing the blues. I'm not saying, woe is me. I'm telling you that I was pulled over by a cop yesterday, and it became this whole spiel. Here's the one thing I didn't like. Instead of just pulling over, and I was on my way to get Melody too. I'm like, I got somewhere to be. They don't care. They want you to pull off the exit. Now I'm going down some street I had no business being down.
Oh, you were on the highway?
Yeah.
101?
Yeah.
Oh.
And, here he is. Eric Estrada pulling me over. Fuck. But I felt really confident because I'm like, I did nothing. I wasn't on my phone like Rich. And I was sitting there cruising. I was just talking.
Hold on. There's no way you were speeding.
I wasn't speeding. Yeah, hell no, I wasn't speeding.
I mean, maybe you were going under the speed limit. Yeah. He's like, the guy's doing 40 in the left lane.
As someone who has driven by you, doing voice to text is still being on your phone.
I wasn't on my phone. I was talking to my parents. I was on my Bluetooth. I wasn't doing anything.
I just want to make sure.
So I had my seatbelt on. I'm like, I don't have drugs. I don't do edibles. I don't have anything on me.
But by the way, which is legal. So if you did have edibles on you,
I'm saying
you're
I'm
fine.
not high. I'm not,
Again,
I'm totally.
Misinformation.
This is not misinformation. I know you're the expert of all, but I'm just saying I'm not under the influence of anything. It's, broad daylight. So, but you always have that guilty feeling too, right? Like, do I have anything on me? Well, if they find my fucking sweet switchblade.
I mean, even driving by police, I'm like, what did I do? Did I do anything? Am I okay? Am I okay?
That's all I'm saying.
Okay? What did I do?
Defender of edibles.
Didn't you get a ticket? Didn't you get a ticket once for being arrogant?
I did. I swear to God, nobody believes that, but it's a true story. Swear to God. I'm like, he's like, I'm giving you a ticket for being arrogant. I'm like, you can't do that. And he's like, watch me.
When they came up and said,
I'm like, what if they find my deadly weapon in my bag?
Sir, do you have any weapons in this vehicle? A little buck. Just a little buck. Just this.
What's that for?
I use it to open letters.
What's that for?
I use it to open packages.
I use it to open my mail. It's mail time. Mail time.
Blues Cliff.
When you gonna... What are you talking about?
Gets tased. Oh.
Yeah. Mail. Oh. I was just singing the song.
For the mail.
Yo, did you see that video of the girl that got tased and she fell into the bush?
Yes.
Spot, pull that up. The girl getting tased and falling into the bush.
Well, my quick story is this. I'm like, here's this guy, and he's got he's making an example out of me. We're on the 101, traffic's slow. He's using the intercom, like the megaphone, whatever it is. Yeah, pull over. I'm like, no, it's a cardigan, but thanks. No, it's a Henley, but thanks. Pull over. No, get off the exit. And I'm like, no, keep going. I'm like, oh man, come on, dude. Like now you're taking me into the barrio. For what? I didn't do anything. I know I didn't do anything. I'm going to pick up my kid. Like I can't be more innocent than I am right now.
I mean, just be careful. When he pulled you over, you didn't reach into your purse, did you?
No. Friendly Vato here, picking up my kid. There's pieces of shit all over Los Angeles causing all kinds of crime. Peaceful Vato with a little envelope opener, picking up his kid. You're bothering me? Like, forget it is how I felt. I'm talking to my parents. Can I have been a more innocent guy in that scenario? Picking up my kid. Dad. I'm wearing khakis. I'm in a Civic. I'm driving 40 miles an hour. I'm going to pick up my daughter. I'm doing nothing. Right? Leave me alone. There's pieces of shit drag racing on the highway, causing crime. Helicopters above me. Drug addicts and shit faces everywhere. Bother them. That's how I feel. But anyway. Long story short, pulls me over. Super nice Vato cop. California Highway Patrol.
Chips?
Yeah, he was super nice guy. But he's like, yeah, I pulled you over? I'm like, no, officer, why? And I'm like, yeah, is it going to take long? I'm an innocent guy, really, just going to pick up my daughter right now. And he's like, yeah, your registration, your sticker is like a year old. I'm like, oh, I happen to have it. I had it, and I just never put it on my license plate. But I had my updated registration. I just never put the sticker. You have to put a sticker on your license plate in California. Yeah. I just never put the sticker on. I had it in my glove compartment, so they took all my information.
You know what you can say? You could say, I didn't put it on because there's been a lot of theft.
Because there's pieces of shit that steal it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always, there's two reasons. I'm too lazy to unscrew the fucking license plate to put it on sometimes. And I always think, why? So some piece of shit could steal my registration sticker? Of course
No. There's a trick.
You cut it.
I saw on TikTok a trick where you take a razor blade and you make diagonal slices through it. So if someone tried to peel off the sticker, your sticker is in a bunch of little pieces. So just razor blade the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway, yeah, he gave me a ticket for being too sexy. That's really what it was. He's like, you know what? Well, I'm glad you got your sticker, but you're just too darn sexy and it's too much of a distraction. No, so he was very nice, but gave me a fix-it ticket, like a citation sort of thing, where there's no fine, but now I have to go through all this rigmarole and take a picture of it and email it and go to the actual office and have someone say, oh, yeah, he fixed it. Go on with your day now. And I'm like, fuck off, man. All these these lowlifes causing real crime around every corner, and you're bothering me right now. No big deal, but it happened. That was yesterday. The end. So I have to I now have to fix that. Got to fix it ticket. And just really annoying when you realize, again, I'm as innocent as I could be right then and there. I'm wearing pets, for God's sakes. I have a man purse.
He didn't recognize you?
He did. You know what was interesting? He did ask me, what do you do for a living? I thought that was a weird question. Not like, where are you going? It wasn't where you're going. He's like, what do you do for a living? Where do you work? That was the first thing he asked me, dude. And
I said, he might recognize you for all your crime fighting as Super Vato Hero.
No, I said, yeah. Well, it's funny you ask. I'm Super Vato Hero, crime fighter.
You might not recognize me in costume. Much like Clark Kent, I'm undercover.
I'm like, well, hello, fellow Vato. Now this is where I really want to bond. I'm like, oh, I work at for Fox Sports Radio and Sirius XM. He's like, oh, what do you're a broadcaster, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I've been at Sirius XM for over 20 years. He's like, yeah, 20 years, okay. But really, he was like super friendly, responsive to it. And, I thought I was going to get away scot-free. Is it scot-free?
Yeah.
Scot-free. But I did get the citation. But I thought that was a weird question. It wasn't like, where are you going, where are you headed, where are you from? It was, what do you do and how long? Oh, and how long have you been there is what he asked me. So that was it. Everything was in order. All my shit's on point, but I still got that fix-it ticket yesterday. But overall, a good day. And here we are on this Taco motherfucking Tuesday, May 17th.
I do like some of the life hacks on TikTok. That is one of the few useful things on social media. I saw that little razor blade registration trick for California.
I've seen that before.
And I was like, it is interesting because people do swipe those little stickers. You can't swipe it if it's razor bladed through the whole thing.
TikTok life hacks enrage me because they're the most common sense things that people think they discovered.
But some of them are useful. Know it all. Like, the whole like how to put a garbage bag in a garbage can. Yes. But hey, you know what? Razor blading your sticker on your license plate. That's pretty clever. I wouldn't have thought of that. That's maybe you're a fucking genius, Spot. That's, you're the greatest guy.
Someone told me
as Covino loves
to say. Someone told me that because of the theft. I forget where I heard it, but I knew about it. Not from TikTok.
You never needed a sticker until 5 years ago in your life. So in the last 5 years, you've decided you needed to razor blade a sticker.
I feel like someone told me about it.
Yeah. So I saw it on TikTok. You had some idiot at yoga tell you. Same thing.
That was kind of rude.
Well, but you're saying life hacks on social media. You just learned it from someone else.
Everyone just had some idiot tell them.
Yeah, exactly. So I found it from some idiot on TikTok. You found it from some idiot at the gym.
Very rude.
How's that rude? You're rude. Who steals registration stickers?
It's a little rude.
Lisa. That's what I was trying to point out. In LA, it's not on the window like in New York.
Right. It's on your license plate.
And every year, the way cops could figure it out, every year they change the color. So let's say like 2022 is blue, 2023 will be red. So a cop could be like, he's got a yellow sticker. That's last year. pull them over. That's the easiest way. And it makes sense. It's much easier than the little printout on your windshield.
Trying to think of, I feel like I saw a good life hack recently that I thought, interesting. That's not what it's meant for, but it was an interesting video. That's how I felt. But you do see some good ones every once in a while.
Yeah.
So again, my fault. Now I have to deal with the hassle of whatever this is to correct it. And that was Monday. Now, I know you got some stories. The random news is going to be interesting. And one of my favorite heroes is getting canceled, or people are trying to cancel.
No, you know what? That's not even in the news. I'm going to get, let's get that out of the way. But I just want to tell bozos, I have sprinklers at my house. I'm reading all the feedback. People are like, Spot had to water his, no. I asked Spot to water my roses because I have my little rose garden gets a little water from the sprinkler system in the morning. Little roses. But I'm trying to have these roses flourish, so I try to water them a little extra throughout the week because they're newer roses that are still trying to root properly.
Roses can only get so far on their own. They need the extra push.
They need exactly. To tie it back to the beginning, my roses, they can be regular roses, but do they want to be award-winning roses? Yeah. Then a couple times a week, a little extra water can.
We've been gardening with Dr. Brown Thumb. He's got roses.
Come on.
I don't know the next line.
Get your shit together. Before I get to all my stories and amazing deep observations, I don't think your boy's being canceled at all.
Amazing.
I don't think your boy is being canceled at all. Nasty Nestor, the Bronx Nest Monster.
Horseshit.
Nestor.
It's horseshit. This is a horseshit story, but don't say it's not news because it's all over the place. Every major publication's picking up this story.
But no one, I have not seen anyone try to cancel Nestor Cortez, Yankee all-star pitcher, and I'll tell you why. All these tweets from like a decade ago.
From his high school days.
When he's in high school and college, he's throwing around the N-word. But here's the thing. I can't speak on behalf of black people. I don't know if you know that. But I feel like if you're a Hispanic guy that grows up in a black neighborhood, the N-word is sort of yours as well in a weird way. Like I never see African-American people get mad at a Hispanic guy using the N-word if all his friends are black.
I'm not going to say that because we will get criticism regardless. So I'm not going to say that. But I will say that he's a Cuban minority who grew up with black kids. And he's using, what he is doing is what Rich described. He's using the N-word as a term of endearment for my homies, my friends.
Yeah.
These are my N-words. And there's dozens of tweets that people have thrown out there to bring this dude down from his moment of glory. You know, and who said this? Remember Denzel said that to Will Smith? You know, something about when you're at your height, the devil tries to come and fucking tear you down. Here he is in his moment of insanity. Nestor Cortez leading the American League in ERA, fourth in MLB, having a dream season. Pieces of shit are trying to bring this guy down, saying that he's abusing the N-word. But again, don't think that all black people are going to, and don't think all these righteous white guilt-having people aren't going to do everything in their power to make sure that this guy is brought down.
No, I'm telling you, the story's going away quick because he's a Cuban guy that grew up with all black friends, and he's using all the times he uses the N-word.
This is the difference.
He's using it like, he's like, yo, you're one crazy N-word. Yo, that's my N-word. It's always said in a,
it's a shame
in a cultural friend way.
I agree. That's what's happening, but we don't know. I don't think he's going to be canceled and all of a sudden the Yankees suspend them or any of that. But who needs that kind of press?
I'm telling you, the story goes away in a day. Jason Brown, he's commenting, Rashawn, EJ. I want to hear from people that, you know, could really speak on it, our black listeners and friends. But I feel like growing up in New York, Spot, back me up on this, Covino. Growing up in New York, Puerto Rican guys in the Bronx, like all the Hispanic guys that you know always seemed to throw around the N-word and seemed to be accepted by their black friends. Like if you guys, the Bronx is a great example. if you're in the Bronx, which is predominant, a lot of Puerto Rican people that live in the Bronx.
And Dominicans. Washington
Dominican
Heights
people, Puerto Rican people. I feel like culturally, the N-word, they have some type of like partial pass. I mean,
it appears that way, dude. But we live in the upside down and we live in the backwards. So who the hell knows? So he's saying, look, he's taking full accountability. He thought they were down. He said, look, I said those things. I'm not proud of it. I'm pissed that they're out there. He apologized. But the shame of the whole thing is that there's still an attempt to bring this dude down when he's at his most glorified, dominating moment of his career in life right now.
Yeah.
That's the piece of shit side of the story.
No one cares.
No one cares, but it's all. Would you want that all over every major publication?
But Covino, I'm telling you, it's fake rage because
I agree with you.
It's fake rage. He plays for the Yankees in the Bronx, and I must be fucking blind and must have. This is not some white guy like me or some other white person that's thrown around the N-word that should be totally punished. This is a Puerto Rican guy, a Cuban guy. I'm telling you, I really do want to hear from someone to comment on this as well, because
not
I really feel
agrees with you, or it wouldn't be a story. Is it fake rage? Probably. Do people
the fakest rage? Covino, the fakest of fake rage.
Like to continue to pour it on like they're super righteous and is still unacceptable? Yes. Is it unfortunate? Yeah. Will it go away? I hope so. Probably. But it's still just unnecessary on all levels. So,
Covino, you know how sometimes coaches say they coach with their gut versus analytics, right?
Yeah.
And you know how sometimes people say, they use the sniff test. They're like, you could read a situation. You don't need to be, instead of taking things at face value, if you just use this sniff test, doesn't just look to you like a guy that grew up in a black community?
Dude, logic is like a foreign sort of concept. Like, you're speaking logic and common sense. Oh yeah, he grew up with a bunch of minorities. It's kind of how they rolled. He's talking about pictures of him and his friends. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you're speaking logic.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you use the sniff test,
since when has logic been used in any sort of argument in the past 5 to 10 years?
All right, well, Rashawn hit us up, and Rashawn goes, yo, I don't know one black person talking about this. Because...
Okay, but guess what? Then why are white people perpetuating this stupid story? You're right. Most black people are like, yeah, who cares? He's one of us. That's our boy. He's our Cubanito, nasty Nestor. Then why is it even a story, bro? Shouldn't even be a story.
But that's what I'm saying, Covino. You're seeing the story because you're a Yankees fan, but I'm promising you this goes away real quick. Real quick.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I
don't think they're going to pull down nasty Nestor.
No, I don't think they're going to suspend them for anything. He apologized thoroughly, like over and over.
No, and his apology was the right way too. He's like, yeah, I wish I didn't tweet those things, but he never made it seem like, right, I got to practice my racism.
He did the equivalent of,
I got to get better.
He did the equivalent of, I'm sorry that made you upset. He didn't apologize for what he did.
No, he owned it, though. He's like, yeah, I did it. I'm pissed
at it. He said, yo, ill-advised. But Spot, again, this is not some white person. This is not said in hate. This is a
but you're speaking a man of logic. Since when is context even a part of these debates? This is the first time where logic is going to be implemented. I hope they don't. I hope nobody uses this against them. I hope not.
When are major organizations like the Yankees, who are sitting on millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, going to hire people to scrub social media of their players?
Well, he said he thought they were down. So
they
need to. You know what? Each player that is
he said he deleted his account.
By the organization needs to just have their entire past.
And he said he tried to clean up his Twitter. Like, he even admitted, like, I tried to clean up my shit. I'm pissed they're even out there. But it's just a shame again when someone's at their height. Like, we live in a culture where we want to just dig up dirt and bring people down, and like, some Yankee hater definitely fucking dug
bro. I'm telling you, I promise you. Watch it. Can we make a deal? By next week, you'll hear nothing about this ever again in your life. Rashawn Powers is right. The internet trolls are just trying to dig up something. Greg Kelly is right, because white people are offended somehow.
No one's denying that.
Everyone should be offended. Jason Brown said it's a story. Because white people have a real hang up on the N-word.
Well, white people
No one in the-
are often the ones perpetuating these stories, and minorities are like, yeah, we don't care. Like a prime example is like when people were trying to cancel Speedy Gonzalez. There was not a Mexican under the moon that had an issue with that. So then I posed the question, yo, white people, what's the deal? Then I posed that. I'm gonna step out of my white side. I'm gonna step out of my half white side and be like, yo,
speak on behalf.
what's going on? Enough with the white guilt. Not everyone's like out to get somebody.
I wish I could speak on behalf of white people here, but I don't get this one, man. Like,
But that's a prime example of what happens so often, Rich. It's like, yeah, that group that you're defending doesn't even care about it. So why are you making it a story?
do you think? I don't know any. I haven't seen anything on any website where, Covino, honestly, if this was really upsetting the black community, this would be a bigger deal. It's a couple white Karens that are like, can you believe Nestor Cortez used the N-word? No one cares. Let's move on. In fact, I didn't want to talk about it
for
anymore.
the sake of the conversation. You're acting like as if I found this on my own personal Yankees blog. This is on every major news publication that covers sports. So
Yeah,
this
but
isn't
I think
something.
it's more of a.
This isn't something that because I'm a Yankees fan is in my algorithm. You know,
I think
this is
it's-
a story
you know what I
that
think it is?
they're
I think
trying
it's
to
a-
create.
I think it's a because you're a baseball fan and we're on the radar, and I think it because it happened, it got a headline. But Stephen A. Smith is not ranting like Nestor Cortez needs to apologize. Like no one's even ranting about it.
Yeah, because Stephen A. doesn't care. I agree. I'm sure he doesn't care. But then, let's be consistent on this.
Words.
Yeah. So it's a story. Thank you.
All right. Boom. I started watching a show last night, and since I couldn't sleep, I watched 6 episodes. And let me tell you, I don't know if it's for you. I think it's a little cheesy, but
Wasn't that your rap name in the 90s?
Say it again?
Wasn't that your rap name in the late 90s, early 2000s?
When I tried to rap, it never worked out. Yeah, Lil Cheesy. I thought it was going to work.
A little cheesy.
A little cheesy. It's a little cheesy. I think the acting is You ever see a show where you're like, yo, this is a cool show, but you can tell that the acting is something's wrong. You ever get that vibe? And I'm not a thespian, but you can't tell sometimes that, the acting's a little
Oh, I heard you're a thespian.
Oh, my son's a thespian.
Oh, better not tell your
Proud of
mother.
him. No, I'm very proud, but he's a thespian.
I also heard he might be bi-coastal.
I support the thespians.
Dad, I'm a thespian.
That's what the T. That's what the T stands
Richie,
for, right?
I sort of had an
Thespians?
idea. No, Dad, I'm in the school play.
The T stands for thespians, right? Thespians.
I always thought he was a little foofy.
So the acting was. So I couldn't sleep. I watched 5 or 6 episodes, and I really enjoyed it, guys. Lincoln Lawyer, the series on Netflix.
Did you ever see the movie?
Of course, I saw the movie with Matthew McConaughey, 2011. Different. Obviously, there's someone else that plays the role of
Lincoln.
No, not Lincoln. What's his name? The same name. I actually looked it up. It's the same name. It's based on a book series. So, The Lincoln Lawyer. 6 episodes in. I think the fact, Covino, that there is a mystery of who did it is keeping me very interested in a show that's sort of mediocre acting, but the plot line's really good. So
don't we all know John Wilkes Booth? Everyone knows that, right?
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't understand. What are they?
Where's the controversy?
Where's the controversy? He publicly did it.
What are you talking about?
John Wilkes Booth.
John Wilkes Booth.
Oh, no, it's not Lincoln's. No, it's a different.
Oh, it's not about the lawyer
No.
who's trying to figure out who killed Lincoln?
No. No, edibles. I couldn't sleep. I told you guys. So I watched 6 episodes. I was up to 3, 4 in the morning. And then finally I was starting to doze a little bit. I'm like, thank God. I just can't sit there and try to fall asleep. I'm like,
Yeah, but if by engaging your mind and your eyes, you're going to not fall asleep.
Bro, no, I try to go to sleep and I'm like, yo, I'm just staring here. I'm wide awake. I put on another episode.
Yeah, but it's stimulating. It's what Spot's saying. It's like the biggest mistake we make with kids. It's like you let them play with their tablet before bed, or you show them a cartoon before they go to sleep. Like now you're just stimulating.
The
them.
worst thing you can do.
I'm worse the other way. Sometimes the TV will help me doze off because I will just stare at the ceiling and I'll just sit there. My mind will race. You know who's in Lincoln Lawyer Spot? Do you remember on How I Met Your Mother, Barney's girlfriend that he got engaged to, the stripper Quinn?
Barney, they're going to cancel him too. You know why? He did something in 2011. I'll tell you about it later in the news. Oh, no. Neil Patrick Harris canceled with nasty Nestor Cortez. Canceled.
But Lincoln Lawyer, I mean, I could see it's trending number one. They're already talking about how millions and millions of people watched it. They're going to renew it for a season 2.
Yeah, I'm with Brett. Like, you aggravate me, dude. Instead of watching, like we talked about Apocalypto yesterday, one of the best movies I've ever seen ever.
I don't want to hear you. Honestly, I don't want to hear
watch,
you.
Like,
I don't want to hear
trash. Like trash, bro. Like, I just don't get you sometimes, man.
You know what
so you're trying to tell me
the first thing you say is the acting.
You're confused.
It's a little cheesy and the acting
dumbass.
suspect, but I'm supposed to care about it.
Your dumbass is trying to tell me.
Yeah.
Your dumbass is trying to tell me
Why
that
is he so angry?
I should have.
What?
He's very angry.
Yeah, wait. Is something up your ass, or maybe there's not, and you need it. Did someone remove something from your ass?
Yeah, but you sound like a fool. You're trying to tell me
You just
that
said the acting suspect, and it's a little cheesy. And I'm supposed to get fired up for that? When yesterday I was talking about one of the greatest movies that I think I've ever seen. You waste your time watching trash.
You think I want to watch Apocalypto opposed to a new show that everyone's talking about?
Fucking great movie. Yes. The answer is yes. Instead of being critical, maybe you should be like, yeah, maybe Covino's onto something. Because I fill my mind with some cheesy shit.
Have you watched Demolition Man yet?
No.
Yeah, it was average.
No, he didn't finish.
It didn't age well.
Never finished it. That movie's still good.
It was all right now. Please, Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
whatever you pulled out of your ass, put it back in. Because something's going on.
No, you're out of your mind. You think I should watch Apocalypto?
Yeah, it's way better than this fucking nonsense you're talking about right now.
I enjoyed it.
Isn't it all?
You enjoyed it. You just said the acting sucked.
Isn't it all?
And
Like
then it was
the
cheesy.
acting was a little suspect, but the plot line's really great.
Ancient Incan or something?
What about it?
Apocalypto. Isn't it all like
Mayan
tongue or something?
It's incredible.
Incredible give a
movie.
shit about that.
I'd rather watch Mayans on FX. Also,
I'd rather fucking watch Maya Angelou do fucking poems.
You know, Maya Angelou spoke at my graduation.
I'm not in a bad mood at all. I'm in a
story.
great mood, actually.
Yeah, Rich still hasn't watched Uncut Gems. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, this dude still hasn't seen that movie, and he watches like trash. But again, Rich, it's garbage can, not garbage can't.
I've been
Don't worry about it.
I've been watching Euphoria, and content aside, because it'll scare the bejesus out of any parent.
You're gonna watch that shit spot instead of watching some classic movie Covino told you about?
I gave up on him a long time ago. Here's a guy, we begged him to watch Winning Time, but somehow he's watching Barry on HBO Max. He said he didn't have HBO Max to watch Winning Time, but he's watching Barry.
Oh, no, I just figured out that I can get on demand.
I mean, we talk sports. The guy won't watch a fucking championship game. So you think I care? I'm trying to talk to you. I think there's still hope for you, but there's not.
Thank you. All right, maybe.
I gave up on Spot. I mean, he don't watch shit that we're supposed to be watching.
What are we supposed to be watching?
I don't know, but if we're on Fox Sports Radio, maybe the championship game that's on that day? Nah. I don't know. Winning Time, the shit we've been talking about every week?
Maybe you need to send me to like a sports like coach, like to nurture my my sports knowledge. Euphoria is great. Content aside, it's done so well. I think it's like the imagery and the way it's shot is fantastic. Continue.
I watched Winning Time. I watched The Staircase. Severance. I watched a couple episodes. That's a little weird, that show. I'm gonna keep going with it, but I don't have Apple TV at my in-laws' house, so I couldn't find it on their TV. So
we can't. We like what we like.
Yeah. I mean,
that being said, you do choose some shitty shows to watch.
What's shitty about the number one trending show on Netflix? I'm not the only one watching it, dude. There's a reason why Netflix already announced season 2.
There's a Netflix agenda. I don't.
Did you watch Vikings Valhalla when it was the number one show on Netflix? No,
because Spot, I don't like old school Viking shit, but a crime show,
exactly,
a crime show I like.
So we like what we like. It doesn't matter if it's in the fucking top 10 on Netflix.
I'll
That
give
only
something a
draws your
shot
attention
if it's
to it.
trending on Netflix.
Vikings Valhalla was the
Unless
number one
it's
show on
some type
Netflix
of-
for 2 weeks. And you didn't watch it, care about it. Stop using that as an excuse. It draws your attention to something, but it doesn't mean you're going to watch it.
I think that's fake anyway, bro. I think you're the only one falling for that still. I don't believe that Netflix.
I'm falling for Netflix
top 5
agenda.
bullshit. Yeah, I believe that. I'm not buying into that.
Netflix renews things based on.
If Netflix, it's a conflict of interest.
Netflix also cancels really good shows.
They cancel really good shows and they put out their own shows. Of course, they're going to push them up. Why
Greg
wouldn't
Kelly is a numbskull.
You're right, Rocket Dog. I didn't like Ozark, but I tried it and watched the whole first full season. I liked it, but I
Ozark
didn't love
season
it.
1 was good. And
Yeah,
it got
I just
too
love it.
complicated for my brain.
But I tried.
Ozark's complicated.
Season 2 was good too.
It's fucking the Bird family and Ruth, and I mean, how is it complicated?
There's just like too many like people.
You're
involved.
fucking. You remind me. You should be a Snell.
This is how Rich
I know
gets
who the,
irritable when he doesn't have edibles.
I know who the Snell.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know what it is. I don't have my drugs, guys. I don't have my drugs.
This is classic withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, you're like clearly irritable.
classic withdrawal symptoms.
You
That's
went on
what it
like a
is.
real irritable rant for a minute. You're like,
Yeah, I should get. You know what? I
trying
should.
to be
I
kind.
should really start getting into cocaine too. What do you think?
You don't need it.
Yeah, I thought you. A lot of people think you are anyway.
Lincoln Lawyer. Let me cross that off the list. As soon as we're done here, I'm gonna lay down and watch a few more episodes. I think I love it.
You love
It's
it.
cheesy, but it's worth it.
Will you watch 1 episode of Vikings Valhalla?
Then you watch one Vikings game.
I have watched a Vikings game.
I'd rather watch Techno Vikings
Who's their quarterback?
on YouTube.
This year, I don't know.
You don't know who the Vikings quarterback is just by osmosis?
Vikings.
That's a little rude.
Matt Stafford.
How is that rude? We're not on Fox. No one's quizzing him. I'm quizzing him on our Patreon.
Matthew Stafford. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Great answer.
Well,
Joe Burrow.
moving along. Hey, you want some rando news?
No, I have other stories to get to. I don't want your random news. How about this? This is something you'll love.
Kirk
You can't argue this. This is right up your alley. I wrote this down. I wrote Covino under it because I know you'd love it. How is no one on planet Earth, pun intended,
Dante
making a bigger
Culpepper.
deal about the fact that Congress is having its first UFO hearing in 50 years?
Yeah,
No
it's
one
pretty
cares?
Incredible. No, I care. Matt Peabody cares. Matt Peabody sent it to me this morning. First thing I read this morning.
Oh, are we just so distracted by inflation and gas prices and all nonsense that no one cares that that Congress has to address UFOs?
Congress holds historic public UFO hearing as military struggles to understand mysterious flying objects. And, you know, there's no answer. It's the same footage, though, that we've seen over and over again. It's just they can't tell you what it is because they just don't know. They're calling it, obviously, we talked about this in the past, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Yeah, I mean, they do need to address it as part of the, safety.
But Spot, the first one in 50 years, and no one's like, whoa.
Raises
Roswell?
more questions than answers. That's really the headline. Like, there's nothing being unveiled or uncovered or any sort of, aha, nothing. People are just like, yeah, this footage is real, and we don't know.
Hey, guys, Congress and the government can't really give us answers about UFOs. But don't worry about that because in 2 days, the Mexican pizza's back at Taco Bell.
Our buddies in the Space Force. I tried to get some inside information about UFOs. He wouldn't give me up anything.
They are saying it's a really serious issue, though, because it's not weather balloons. You know, it's something. What's the other term they use often? Of another world or
Otherworldly?
no? There's another like term or phrase to describe like the phenomenon.
Out of this world.
Whoa.
Unidentified aerial phenomena are a potential national security threat. I agree.
Well, that's why it's a big deal.
Wouldn't it be more than a national security threat? Wouldn't it be like an
Global.
Earth
No, because
threat?
they don't know if it's coming from another part of the world.
Well, I read something that said that the technology involved at what they see this thing doing in the air.
A flying car.
No foreign or national air force or any military or space thing could do what it's doing, Spot.
Yeah. Not of this world. I think you're right. I think that's it, Rachel. Man. Technology not of this world. But yeah, no, that's a big story, man. It's really cool. But again, the footage that we keep seeing is footage that we've seen over and over again.
So
But
we
it's
crossed
legit.
that off. Congress, UFO hearing, ba-bam. I mentioned it on Thursday, Covino. I know you don't care, but I'm coming back to LA, and I think I might try to see if I could grab some in the morning during our show. The Mexican pizza returns to Taco Bell with the help of Doja Cat and Dolly Parton, who actually even made a little song for Taco Bell. So they're also adding a few other items they took away years ago. So Taco Bell getting a big push. They're saying that they are going to sell a ton of Mexican pizzas where you could almost have to pre-order now. I think it's going to have the rage of the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Our boy Bobo from Fox Sports Radio was backing you up, saying how it really is like that good. I've never had it. He's like, you never had it? I'm like, nah. He's like, yo, it's that good. Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
I mean, it's not my favorite thing, but I'm telling you, people loved it. And when they took it off the menu, it was like, really? That was a pretty popular item. So
what makes it
much
so
like,
good and what makes it Mexican pizza?
It's two flat circle tortillas. It's shaped like a pizza. So it's essentially, it's really nothing that special.
But is there like a spice to it that makes it better? Like,
no, it's just a kitschy item that people loved, and
Going on in Taco
it's gone
Bell.
now.
Something you wouldn't expect. We're making pizza,
Taco Bell.
Mexican pizza. It's like pizza, but it's different.
It's like
with
pizza,
a crispier double
but
tortilla
different.
crust, ground beef, and 2
maybe I
kinds
have
of
had
cheese.
that.
More fresh ingredients, and it's made for one person. Mexican pizza. Maybe you wouldn't expect it from an ordinary fast food place, but at Taco Bell, you would.
Bring back the Chihuahua. That's what I want.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
You could voice it.
Bring that back.
Well, that happens Thursday. So
Yo quiero
the Popeyes chicken sandwich was all the rage. It might not match that, but I promise you, you'll see lines of Taco Bell on Thursday because of this stupid Mexican pizza.
Yeah, Zush asks what I was kind of getting at. Is there like salsa instead of tomato? Is there no tomato sauce involved?
No, there's nothing pizza about it. It's just shaped and looks like it's like designed like a pizza, but with Mexican ingredients.
But what's so great about that? How is it any different from any other item they serve there?
I mean, what's the difference between a burrito and a chalupa and a?
I mean, do you want me to explain them?
No, but I'm saying, Spot, what he's saying is it's the same ingredients, just sort of done differently. Cheese, meat, tortillas, and it's just shaped differently
like a
and sort of
quesadilla.
kitschy. That's all. It's 2 tostada shells with all the fixins, essentially.
Here,
Okay. I'll try it. Whatever.
Here, I'll show you. There's a video of a guy at Taco Bell making the Mexican pizza.
Okay. Oh, here you go.
So here,
Yo quiero
we
Taco
can
Bell.
learn-
All right, we're back with a new video here, how to make a Mexican pizza. I'm joined with my manager, and this was by request. So here we go, how to make a Mexican pizza.
I'm really excited.
Speed it up,
You
kid.
don't want to get your
Yeah, I'm done with this kid already. Spot, I don't want to see them. I don't want to be taken behind the velvet rope. Let's just eat them Thursday.
Shells.
Yo quiero
Put
Taco
it in.
Bell.
the red scoop of beans.
Josh, I'm not
Scoop
playing
beans.
dumb. I've never had the Taco Bell Mexican pizza to my knowledge. I don't think I've ever had it. So how am I playing dumb?
All right, I'm bored.
I don't eat that shit.
I mean, Kerry Kuhneman's right. They use the same 5 or so ingredients for every item. And that's really Mexican food, really. It's just packaged differently with different textures and different shapes, right? I mean, a quesadilla, a soft shell taco, a hard shell taco.
Take it easy. You can say that about Italian food too. It's just
the
noodles
same.
shaped
It's sauce,
different.
it's noodles.
It's different noodles,
cheese,
sauce, and meats.
and
Agreed.
meats.
Yeah. I mean,
Take it easy.
I mean, technically, any sort of food, any sort of ethnic cuisine is just a combination of the same ingredients,
Prepared a little different.
prepared a little bit differently. Rich, you're gonna have a hard time getting a Mexican pizza because it's gonna be like a specialty item, like
You're thinking sold out, huh?
like when the McRib comes back, or with
Yeah.
it's like you're gonna be waiting in lines.
Wow. Hey, I'm down.
You know what I
wanna
wish?
try it.
You know what I wish they bring back? The Arch Deluxe. I'm still waiting for that. From
I wouldn't be
McDonald's.
surprised if they did, Spot.
The Arch Deluxe.
People love nostalgia.
It was so good. I loved the Arch Deluxe.
Josh.
Well-
Josh is the smartest guy. Josh Pointer. I'm pointing at you.
Fattest.
I
man
don't
in
eat
my
it
life.
either, but I can picture what it is. I don't know if there's tomato sauce on it.
So it's
So I'm asking a question. Is there a specific spice that makes it bomb.com? How the fuck do I know?
everybody,
Do they throw
welcome to-
Doritos on this bad boy? I've never seen it.
You sure you don't want to show you the rest of the video of the guy making the Mexican
No,
pizza?
I'm good.
Yeah, and by the way, you could put your order in starting today for the Mexican pizza and pre-order it to make sure you get one on Thursday.
Wow. You're going all out, huh?
No, I'm not doing it. I'm saying you can. Taco Bell and Doja Cat and Dolly Parton have made that announcement.
Makes fan favorite Mexican pizza makes historic return. Like, why is this such a big deal? I guess,
Media hype.
I guess it's like the
Fast
whole,
food.
it's like the
Fast
whole
food's a
Twinkie
big
thing.
deal, sadly, and Taco Bell's one of the biggest fast food places.
It won the fast food wars.
Yeah,
You wouldn't know. You would know that if you saw Demolition Man.
I did watch Demolition Man, and it was all right.
So you can get it without meat. That's why, like, it says like vegans are really obsessed with it, or vegetarians, because you can get it without meat. So it's just like the beans.
Beans.
Let's see. The Mexican pizza is made up of 2 crispy flour shells layered with beans, pizza sauce, seasoned beef, tomatoes, and melted 3 cheese blend.
Pizza sauce.
Pizza sauce. So it does have pizza sauce.
I wonder if Josh, the know-it-all, knew that. Anyway,
And this is from Taco Bell.
I'm good. I'm good on
from
it.
the press release.
Can't
So-
wait, Rich.
I mean,
when you buy one, bring
I'm
one
reading
here.
the
I'll
feedback.
taste it.
Preston, yes, you could pre-order it. That's all over social media and the news. You could pre-order starting today. People
looks
want to
so
have their
gross.
Mexican pizza. What do you want me to say?
It just looks
I'm just
gross.
reporting the news.
I can't wait to have Tropicana Crunch for breakfast,
And then a Mexican
and
pizza.
then a
for
little
lunch.
Mexican pizza for lunch.
Man, it's like the 2000s.
And I'll have a Popeye's chicken sandwich for dinner. Can't wait.
So, Cove, what do you think about this? Katy Perry is in the news, and I feel like she's saying something that you'll be like, I vibe with that. I like it. I like it.
She's playing a character named Melody in an upcoming animated feature.
That is true. Melody, an insecure singer who gets confidence. Yeah, that is one of her upcoming projects.
Yep.
Katy Perry, who talks about how, much like every couple goes through their ups and downs, her and who's got a hog shadow?
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom. They've benefited from therapy and they're happier than ever. She's saying that she's been spending a lot of time in Kentucky and she feels like it's important for everyone to get out of their bubble. She thought it was important for her to get out of her LA bubble and see the world outside of Los Angeles. But she also thinks it's important for people like in Kentucky to get out of their Kentucky bubble and see
Easy
how other
for
people
someone
live.
worth
And
millions of dollars to say that.
what's
You know,
up?
It's a lot easier, even though she may be right. It's very easy for her to say. Some people can't afford to get out of their bubbles. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
Just see other people and travel and see different parts of the
Yeah,
country.
That costs money. She has endless means. So yeah, she could go into any bubble she wants.
Endless means or endless limits?
Both. Because she got proper coaching in her marriage.
I think seeing how different people live is something we have unique perspective on because we've done so much traveling for the show. And I think our day-to-day interactions with people all over the place gives you, oddly enough, way better perspective than 99% of people out there. I can promise you that.
Well, the world's a much smaller place. I think.
Yeah,
the
but if you
world
think
in
any- if you
itself
think
has
any of
gained-
your Jersey
has gained
friends-
some perspective.
There's no way any of your Jersey Botchagaloop friends or anyone, people don't know how other people live at all. We have such a unique perspective because we do a national, international radio show podcast for the last 15, 20 years almost. Like you have a perspective and Katy Perry's talking about that. And I think like most people here, who was I was talking to someone the other day. Yeah. Like a lot of Sarah's friends like, oh, never been to this place or that place. And you've been every place, Covino. Most people do not.
I've been everywhere, man.
That's why I'm saying, but it's easy for Katy Perry to say that, even though she's right. Most people don't have the means to do those things.
I was talking to one of my buds yesterday, and my buddy Mike Lozito, and him and I had a really good talk about traveling once your kids are in school. And he's a firm believer in just keep living your life. And the reality is, if your kids miss a day or so here or there, it's really no big deal. And his theory is like those rules, like you shouldn't have more than this many absences, are designed for like the delinquent parents. He's like, if your kid's smart and they're doing well, teachers really don't care if you pull them out for a 3-day weekend. He's like, he was just in Disney, and he's like, yeah, my kids are fine. So, because I was like, you know what? Emmy starts kindergarten in August. And I'm like, man, how much of a lockdown am I on? And he's like, yo, you're not. Because I was like starting to be like, oh man, does that mean I'm like, when could Emmy miss school? And he's like, whenever you want. I'm like, all right.
But not like weeks at a time. Yeah, days.
No,
here
not
and
weeks.
there.
Not weeks at a time. But he's like, yeah, if you want to go somewhere for a 3 or 4 day weekend, because think of what he's like. Those rules are designed for delinquent parents and kids that are constantly like homesick, like, you know, the kid that has the sniffles that doesn't go to school, you know?
But I mean, learning still is important. There's curriculum, and then you start to feel left behind. You know, you feel behind in class when people are discussing things and you're not keeping up.
Yeah, I just remember when I was a kid, I was the kid that never wanted to miss a day. I was like, I felt odd if I missed a day of school.
Still the same.
Like, you know, there were kids that like were always calling in sick or leaving home or not coming in or late to school. Like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Probably not. You live once.
Jim Ramsey says something along the lines of what I was thinking. He says, the reality is the school calendar will set your travel calendar.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the kids eventually get to an age where they care about school and missing school.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'm sure when they get to the age.
Yeah, man, you can miss a few days here and there for sure.
Yeah, when they get to that age, yeah, that's one thing. But like, that's probably around your daughter's age.
Yeah. You know, and they don't want to miss out on certain things. Like Melody's mom was going on a vacation. She didn't want to go. She wanted to miss the dance. Like, nah, I'm not.
Yeah, well, exactly. You don't want to miss the school dance, or you don't want to miss like,
you know.
Again, let's say your kid plays sports. You might be like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to New Jersey. If your kid was like, no, but Dad, I have a soccer game. Like, yeah, that's when it starts applying. But when your kids are little, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But the school does hold you accountable, like to not be late and to not miss. Again, you're in a public school system now, to not miss a certain amount of days. 3-day weekends here and there, yeah, completely acceptable. But, you know, if you're you can't just do as you want.
Sarah and I were talking about how like, we actually have to plan around like, we have to plan around like those random like Teacher's Day, like a 3-day weekend. Like, oh, so you have to sort of take a bigger look at the school calendar and be like, wait, they have this random Monday off because it's like some school thing. Yeah, all right, so that's the weekend we go to Texas, you know, like it's not a free for all anymore.
Look at all the times that like Covino, when Melody's school used to be like, oh yeah, there's a show at noon on a Thursday. It's like,
yeah,
there's no one.
Parents work.
Yeah,
but
there's no one like busy.
Or just like you said, random days off. And you're like, well,
yeah, but Covino's right. Like he would get a letter like, yeah, next Monday and Tuesday, there's no school. And Covino's like, why? It's October. That's like, it's like Teacher Day and some other day. So you have to, if you know those days, then you try to plan the best around that, right?
Yeah, definitely. But you're right. Yeah, you're approaching
I
a new.
Agree. It's like, you know what are you going to miss when you're in fucking kindergarten, you know?
Finger painting day. But yeah, you're now playing by the rules and schedule of something bigger than Dickie's world, I guess.
No, bigger than your adult schedule, because your adult schedule rules until your kids are locked into school where you're right, games and sports and weekend activities and school plays and concerts, these things now take precedence. And, you know, I do always remember the one kid that would be like, yeah, I missed school for a week. I was in Disney because my parents didn't want to go during the summer. And I was like, that's cool. They never really got in trouble. It was just like, hey, that's what their parents did. Remember that?
I mean, that's the way to do it for sure. You know,
don't you remember be like, hey, where's Barry this week? Oh, his family went to Disney in, I don't know, March. And it's like, yeah, but we have school. Yeah, but you know what? Barry's family didn't want to compete with the crowds.
Could do that.
Yeah. No. Let's see. I'm reading the feedback. Yeah, it's one of those things where if you have a flexible job, it doesn't matter how flexible your job is if your kid is super involved in sports and activities, because it doesn't. You now are at the mercy of your children.
Yep.
The teacher days are when you got it. Yeah, that's true. The teacher days. Use that schedule to your advantage.
Snot-nosed punks run your life.
So get out of your bubble. Travel if you can. Katy Perry style. Now, Cove. A story about weddings and a story about being happy. Two things I found very interesting. You tell me what tickles your ball sack a little more.
Happiness.
Happy.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happy penis.
Happy. I don't remember that being a flex, but Casey just hit us up and said it was a huge flex when you were a kid and your parents took you to Disney while all the other kids were in school. Like, yeah, my parents took me to Disney while you're in fucking third grade.
I can imagine that it was.
Where were you? Were you sick last week, Johnny? No, I was in fucking Disney. I was on a cruise. So our buddy Steve posted an article. Spot, I'm going to pull it up if you want to pull it up as well. I thought it was really a quacktastic read. It had to do with happiness and what makes people happy. And what are we all just trying to attain, Covino? You always talk about it. You want people to just leave you alone. You want to be happy. You want to just live in peace and harmony, correct?
Peace and harmony.
Happy penis.
Happy penis.
Happy penis.
Can't we just all have happy penis?
And
An article out of the New York Times, which I'm sure our old buddy Sean the lawyer read, because if it's not in the New York Times, he doesn't read it. The rich are not who we think they are, and happiness is not what we think it is either. It goes on to just talk about what makes people happy. And Spot, if you want to post a link to this article on our Instagram story, you said you read it, Spot, as well. What were your big takeaways from this article?
I didn't read it. I just saw the headline. I'm aware of the article. I haven't read it yet, though. But I'm going to, because
I want to know what you thought about it.
I love articles.
My big takeaways were a lot of times some of the richest people in your neighborhood, or the people that are doing well, have, quote, unsexy jobs. I'm not saying plumbers and electricians. I'm not talking about the blue collar stuff. I'm saying you assume that everyone's like, I own a restaurant, I own this, like the cooler things, like, yeah, I own a couple sports bars. Like the things that sound like fun are not necessarily money makers, and they're not necessarily giving you happiness. Believe it or not, they're saying the job that no one gives enough credit to. If you want to figure out why does that person in my neighborhood have the fucking dope house and everything, car dealership owners. If you own a car dealership, Daniel LaRusso style, they're saying like that's the job that it's so hard to get one, because once people get one, once people get a car dealership, they're making $1 million a year, and people don't realize like that's something that people don't want to give up. They're always making money, and it's jobs like that. That was one
for
thing.
Local car dealerships. That's my happiness. Make your move to Maxon. Move to Maxon. Maxon's got the tickets to ride, and it's hot. I'm making songs for local dealerships. Maxon. Keys Honda. I'm making songs for them.
Look, we get it. Everyone likes driving a new car, but nobody likes buying one, right? If you agree, maybe it's time to make your move to Maxon. You know, the guys on 22 West in Union. What makes them different? How about a reputation for upfront and hassle-free pricing? After all, they've been a part of the neighborhood for over 50 years. Check this out. You can lease a 2021 GMC Sierra for $389 or a 2021 Buick Enclave for just $379. So what are you waiting for? Make your move to Maxon.
Damn it. I was hoping for a
Make
song.
your move to Maxon.
Blindly hit clicked on
Move
that.
to Maxon.
Sorry.
Maxon's got the ticket to ride and it's hot. Local car dealerships, huh? Those are the guys living the life?
And they're saying beverage distributors as well. Like
keys.com.
Beverage distributors are another job that you make a ton of money. Like you're the middleman between all bars and restaurants and alcohol distributors.
Isn't
like there's
this a
jobs that
subjective
you don't realize are big deals. but-
Article, though? Like, because happiness is defined by the person seeking it, no? So how the fuck does, and again, no knock on Steve, he's a great guy, but how does he know that having a car dealership is going to fulfill me in some weird way?
Steve didn't write this article.
He posted it?
Yeah, you think Steve wrote the article?
Yeah, I thought he wrote the article. That's the way you presented it. Like he wrote this article.
No.
Oh, well, either way. I mean, so
A study of thousands of millionaires led by a research team at Harvard Business School found the number, it's $8 million.
It's by
Up until $8 million, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it seems like people that have over $8 million, there's a sense of happiness and relief that kicks in. So if your net worth is 8 million or more, that seems to be the magic number of.
Gee, I'm far
All right.
off from my quest of happiness.
More
though.
money, more problems.
So let me bring up one more point of this article, and then we'll move on. It's more of a read, Covino. It's I think I could discuss it, but I think it's more of an article if we post. Everyone should read it because it's a lot of like data. Slick shoes.
I was going to say from Goonies.
$50 bill.
What makes people happiest? Sex, exercise, and gardening were the top 3 things on the list.
Wow.
Sex, exercise, and gardening.
That explains why you're so grumpy today.
People get a big happiness boost from being with romantic partners or friends. Weather plays a small role in happiness as well. People that live in 75 degrees and sunny weather year round tend to be happier. People are happy in nature. People seem to be happier when they're close to a body of water.
Oh, yes.
Some would say, do we need scientists to tell us this? Maybe not. But people continue to live without these things in their life and say they're unhappy.
I have a better answer than that.
Apparently,
Tell Steve to add this. Stop watching the news. It makes people angry and grumpy.
the happiest places include Flagstaff, Arizona, Naples, Florida. Sup, Tom Popoli, and pretty much all of Hawaii. Which is funny because if you ask the native Hawaiians, it's like, aren't they very depressed? Meaning like it's a very depressed financially country. State.
The number one path, Covino,
State.
to unhappiness. Many of us work far too hard at jobs with people we don't like. Dr. McCarran and economist Alex Byron found that work is the second most miserable activity.
I mean,
being sick in bed
so I called work
is the only thing that ranks higher than work as far as misery.
Yeah, I don't go to fun every morning.
Laying in bed sick and then work are the two most miserable things. And they found that people that actually enjoy what they do in life for their job have just increased happiness throughout their life. Another perhaps obvious thing, but I didn't know that work was number 2 behind laying sick in bed.
Yeah, it's pretty
well. They always say, do what you love, and it won't feel like a job.
Many of us move to big cities, work long hours, spend little time in nature and little time with friends, thinking we're getting ahead. but you're just getting unhappy.
I'd rather get head.
They found that people in New York City were the least happy in the United States.
Sounds about right.
Well, yeah, that's right. They're so grumpy all the time.
So they're so grumpy.
Boston, close after New York City. We're talking about northeast cities where it's like glum and fast moving, you know?
That's why Jamie in Boston's so grumpy.
Many of us, while many of us waste away hours on social media, that's also not a path to happiness.
Grumpy.
Socializing in real life, way better than socializing on social media. Well, a lot of quote, obvious things, but things we need to be reminded of.
Social media, I mean, we're stating the obvious again. It just appears that everyone's living their best life and doing the backstroke in a cenote in Tulum, and you're sitting there in your living room like, this sucks. Why are they having so much fun?
Grumpy.
Why are they on a private plane and I'm here like on the Baltic and shit?
Life can't be a constant vacation.
Yeah, but you could strive for these things, Spot. Like it said, the data-driven answer, if you sum it all up, would be
$50 bill.
The easiest way to be the easiest way to be happy, if you combine all the data, this is the ending of the article, is be with someone you actually love, live in a warm climate, close to a body of water, have consistent sex, and not hate your job. These are like that's the equation to happiness.
And
or own a car dealership.
And rock horns.
These are obvious, but then again, Spot, there's so many obvious things in life that people ignore.
I want to just live on the moon.
It says nothing about like being healthy and fucking going to a
the
concert.
Things that make
every
people
once in a while.
happiest were going to the gym, having sex, going to the gym, and gardening.
Oh, okay. That was it, Jim. Gardening thing, that's pretty interesting,
Jim,
Rich. See, you're onto something.
I
would have never guessed that was in the top three answers on the board.
I
feel good.
To be honest, when I started doing it, I felt like I was onto something because I'd go outside, I'd be tending to my flowers, like checking my landscaping, and I was like, yo, this really makes me fucking smile and like,
If I was on Family Feud, I would have never guessed that as an answer.
Why do you think I have my little cactus garden that I tend to? I love my cactuses, cacti.
Eating pizza makes me happy. Is that on the list?
Eating pizza makes me so happy.
If I eat carefree pizza, can Taco Bell invent that?
You know what?
Carefree pizza, like just so I can eat it anytime I want.
I don't know if it's weather related, but like driving around. I told you, driving around in my convertible makes me so happy. Maybe that's weather.
Nature, weather, Spot.
Nature, weather, feeling the breeze.
Guess where your convertible wouldn't work.
When my beard flops around because it's so tight, but when I feel it moving, that brings me so much joy because the wind is moving it. And I'm like,
Covino, I say this to you all the time because we have thoughts and ideas of like other ventures and what's next and what we used to have and what we lost and what we gained. And I think to myself all the time,
I lost 2 jobs and gained 20 pounds.
You're the happiest person I know.
But think of it this way though. Would you be happier? Would you be happier if you were driving to the SiriusXM studio every morning and then driving to downtown LA every single night for ESPN?
I didn't like the commute, but I like the feeling of doing something and that I'm proud of. So whatever that is, doesn't have to be that.
I feel like you're happy with what you do.
Yeah.
What you do brings you joy.
I don't
rare that you love what you do, but I'm saying
miss the time spent there.
I enjoy doing the show, but I hate driving here in the morning because of traffic. But I enjoy doing this, just like I really loved when I was able to roll out of bed and just do the show. So,
but
I don't think
like Covino driving to down like ESPN, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy to look back and say, "Yo, man, we lost a good chunk of money doing a daily TV show for ESPN and that whole deal." But
you removed a lot of strife from your life.
Dude. But can I just give everyone a little summary of our life back then, real quick, if we forgot? We'd get home, you and I would scramble around for ideas of what we're going to talk about on the TV show, to then have these producers criticize your fucking ideas, to then be on a conference call where the whole time Covino is like, what the fuck? Yo, Covino, you should really come with better ideas. Right? Aggravated. Yo, Covino, did you send the ideas? They want the ideas by 1 p.m. Yo, bro, I can't find anything good. Yo, if you can't come up with ideas by 1 o'clock, yo, Beto, the producer, is going to yell at you. You'd be aggravated.
Well, we had ideas. Our ideas just never lined up with what they wanted.
So, wait, you'd be aggravated, right?
Yeah.
Then, Covino, I'll meet you at 4 o'clock. All right, let's drive in an hour of traffic to downtown LA. We get there. Yo, guys, you guys are like 5 minutes late. Yeah, we were in an hour of traffic. All right, Covino, like, do you not really want this? All right, sorry. So here's the outline of today's ESPN show.
You forgot one part.
We're going to sit around for 4
we already
hours.
did another job. We had already done another job that day. Forgot that part.
And you had already done Sirius XM in the morning. So now it's 5 o'clock. Yeah, Covino, Rich. We pushed your tape time back to 9. So what are we going to do from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.? Yo, Covino, let's go take a walk to Starbucks, get a coffee. You want to get a salad at Yard House? All right. Yo, you guys preparing? Are you watching the fucking Clippers game? Yeah, we're watching the Clippers game. All right. Technical difficulties in the studio. All right, show's over. Yo, Covino, that could have been better. All right, let's go home. 10:30. Go to sleep. Was that happy?
No, it wasn't.
I mean, I'm sure you were happy
when you looked at
You were happy every 2 weeks when you add money in your bank account extra.
And I was also happy with the.
That's almost.
You were happy to be able to brag that you were on television.
Feeling of importance that came with it, and that you're accomplishing something, like I said,
but it's
you're achieving your goals.
A high. You were getting like a high.
You were getting a bit of an adrenaline rush.
But such a tiny high out of all the. It was like you were in constant.
Having all this time to kill and nothing to do, it doesn't bring me happiness either. I was like, man, I was on the move.
Maybe you need to fill that with happiness.
Yeah, but
or maybe I should just own a car dealership.
I agree that there's a middle ground that I'd like to eventually get to.
Let's do it together.
But what I'm saying, Cove, is the day I just described, every day of the hassles and stripes, and then you'd be like, yo, is the show good? Oh, they fucking don't get us. We'd be bitching about the producers. We'd be hating that, everything. And it was really just your pride being like, yeah, bro, I hate it all, but I get to tell people I'm on TV every day. Two things you liked: the money, and to be able to tell your old school pals and people in the industry, yo, I got a TV show every day. I mean, besides that, you fucking hated it.
You're discounting like the feeling of feeling you're on the right path,
Yeah, but it was because it was nice to tell people. It was nice to be able to brag about your success and nice to make money. Other than those two things, to be able to be like, hey, I got a TV show and I make money.
About the brag. It was about being on the right track, and knowing it. I'm not saying that there's no clout in saying that. I'm just saying that there's a feeling of, yeah, man, this is where we're supposed to be, and this is going to lead us to bigger things. But as Fred Durst says, everything happens for a reason.
No cap.
No cap.
Yeah, but you, as a sports fanatic, reached the mecca of the sports media industry.
Yeah.
That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
what I'm saying
is
a
feather in your Goopaline.
For me, more than Rich. I grew up watching Sports Center and stuff.
You would say the same thing every day. Yo, I like doing ESPN, but Sirius XM, our talk show, that's my bread and butter. That was your way of saying, like, yo, I actually enjoy doing our radio show, our podcast. But ESPN was more of just something you did because you were good.
I just think that
happiness.
It's subjective for, a lot of people. A lot of those things are universal. And, you had the stats to prove it, meaning living by water, as opposed to living in New York, right? I mean, we could see that just from living life. So, hey, continue your pursuit and stop focusing so much maybe on on work and more time on enjoying nature, as the article says.
You have to find the balance between drive and enjoyment. like you should never lose your drive to always want more and always progress and always be better and always get more out of your career and your life. But at the same time, you shouldn't sacrifice, for lack of a better word, but it's the point of this article, your happiness, because you do need to appreciate what you currently have.
I fucking hated
when you're reaching so far to get more, you're not living in the moment and not embracing what you currently have. And what you currently have, you should be proud of and is awesome and supports you and it does well, you know?
I love the money and I love the cloud and I love the opportunity. But I'll tell you what, looking back, I fucking hated the day-to-day ESPN world we lived in. I did not like it. In fact, I told you many times when we still had the job, I don't know if I could do this for a long time.
You sure as hell would be rethinking if like things never changed and you were living out here and you had to drive an hour plus every day and back.
Oh, well, yeah, I wouldn't have moved out there if I was still working at ESPN.
He hated that schedule. Wait till he gets a load of Emmy's kindergarten schedule and he realizes he can't go where he wants to go.
I know. So my point is that be happy. The article's about being happy.
Wait, are you saying don't worry, be happy?
Factors.
Thank you, Dickie McFerrin.
Don't worry, be happy. And I agree. I still, that doesn't mean you don't strive for greatness and want to do other things. I'm just saying, like, all right, a great example would be James Corden. James Corden is stepping away from the Late Late Show. To me, that sounds ludicrous. Like, why would you step away from a gig like that?
Ludacris is taking over? That'd be cool.
Yeah, he was like, move, bitch. Get out the way. And James Corden actually did.
But James Corden is like, yeah, like, for all you know, James Corden's like, yo, I'm so fucking done with this Late Late Show. Meanwhile, everyone else is like, how is that possible? You're on the Late Late Show. He might be like, the schedule, the life. I'm in the United States. I'm really a Brit. There's rumors that he's going back there to do a show. And like, you know, you never know what people are thinking and what they love, you know?
So people in the UK can sit at home and listen to himself, be excited about hearing himself sing.
Yeah.
Listen to him being excited about hearing himself sing.
Find your happiness.
Yeah.
For James Corden, it's hearing himself sing.
All right. So I gotta check. You gotta check the article, Rich. That's what I'm getting out of this.
You be on the hunt for happiness, but also find happiness in where you are right now. Because if you're not happy where you are right now, you do need to make those changes, but you won't recognize that you need to make change until you try and find happiness in where you are right now.
Remember Dave Chappelle? Jason hit us up. Dave Chappelle seemed like a lunatic for walking away from $50 million in the Chappelle Show, but he thought he was just unhappy doing it. Hey, it worked out for Chappelle. He's a fucking multimillionaire billionaire. But I mean, James Corden's a great example. Like I said, as Jim Ramsey pointed out, the hours, the schedule, maybe he just wanted a fresh challenge. Like, you know.
I mean, I think having the right people in your life too also matters a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that
so I'm
very excited and ready for whatever the next challenge for Covino, Rich, and Spot is. But I don't look back. I don't look back and be like, man, I wish it never changed, because I'll be honest, maybe it was a blessing.
To the moon, bro. To the moon.
To the moon.
That's why Spotty's there. All right. So quick rando news of the day. Please post the article too so people could check it out on our Instagram or somewhere at Covino and Rich, Twitter at Covino and Rich. Quick rando news of the day again. Eastern Conference Finals begins tonight. News. Who you got? Celtics or Miami? I lean Miami, and I'm leaning like a cholo. I like Jimmy Butler, rooting for them. I think that's what I'm going for. Western Conference Finals, that begins tomorrow, but enjoy your playoffs tonight. And speaking of sports, there's a lot of backlash, a lot of murmurs, whispers, a lot of talk about the Sports Illustrated cover girl, Yumi Nu. And my only criticism is this. It's so forced. It just feels so forced. It's like everyone wants to take this like very like we're on the right side of history, forced sort of.
It's so forced.
It's so forced. I don't care about her. I don't care about how she looks. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, so you're trying to win over, you know, the world by saying, yeah, fat people, I like them, or you know, like it just feels forced. I don't know.
It's forced.
That's all.
This is not modeling. You know what this is? I pointed this out to Covino and Spot yesterday off the air. I think that woman's attractive, but you know what the thing is? Sports Illustrated insinuates to me fitness and
health,
elite athletes. Sports Illustrated.
What about sumo wrestling?
So to me, Sports Illustrated indicates this is not like, hey, let's get some beautiful plus size models for Victoria's Secret, or let's get some beautiful plus size models for this clothing campaign. Sports Illustrated to me is synonymous with athleticism and fit. No?
Yeah. So, and the only people defending this are, people who look like that. And that's very regular. I get it. Right. But she doesn't look like an athlete or anything.
That's my point.
It's like something you're striving to be as far as your physical peak, which most athletes are.
I get it. If you told me, hey, let's put that woman,
but it's also very forced. Spot. It's like, I know.
But if you put that woman on an ad at Target or Victoria's Secret or I don't know, any H&M, Old Navy, anything, I'd get it. She's a regular, beautiful woman. But Sports Illustrated is athletics and fit. Sports Illustrated. She's not playing. What sport is that woman playing? That woman took a jog around a track. She'd fall over.
Volleyball?
You think she's playing volleyball?
Look, she's beautiful. She's thick. There's a big audience for that, right? I mean, who doesn't like a big fat dumpy?
I mean,
you would
argue the sports, most athletes love a thick woman.
Yeah, but doesn't it just scream out like, we're Sports Illustrated and we're doing the right thing? It's like, okay, all right, whatever. So Yumi Nu is causing some backlash because not everybody agrees with it. But you know who definitely agrees with it?
I will say,
women who look like that and men who are married to women that look like that. But that doesn't mean that
you read Playboy for the articles.
Yeah, but Raul's right. She is into fitness. Fitness food into her mouth.
Oh, come on.
Hey-o, I didn't say it. Raul said it. On the feedback, Raul said it. I'm reading the feedback.
Of course, in other sports news, we already talked about it, but nasty Nestor. Nestor Cortez at the height of his career.
Jason Brown's a dimwit.
Why?
There's some women that are into athletics, like that look like her, like wrestling and track and field. Like
she's throwing the shot put or something. But
come on.
I don't know. The Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition really doesn't have much to do with sports anyway, but it does show a level of fitness that we should strive to be. Like, you can't discount the health ramifications of being overweight. Like, we're praising the wrong things in this country. It's ridiculous.
People are, if you can't,
and that's not to say she's not beautiful and that she's not regular, but she is a little overweight.
If you can't accept the fact and understand that Covino's right by saying this is a Sports Illustrated do-gooder move, then you're
that's
fucking
really
blind
all I'm
to
saying. If you cannot feel that, you're oblivious. I'll stand my ground on that. Is she beautiful? Yeah.
I'll say that. I'll say this.
But if you don't see it, you're oblivious.
Like I always say, I get annoyed that all these women have this body positive messaging and ads and advertisements and magazine covers, but men are getting the shit end of the stick. You don't see a chubby guy on the cover of Men's Fitness. So it hurts a little bit. It really does. As someone who has lived their life as a fat person,
it's true. We said that short guys really get the short end of the stick.
Guys,
we shame the shit out of them.
Someone who's been chubby.
But if you're an overweight woman, we're putting you on the cover of the swimsuit edition.
And it's great that they get their due, but it's not it's not racial. It's not like, we're giving people of color their shine, like it's Asian American Pacific Islander month. It's not like we're celebrating
today's
cultures.
National Idaho Day.
This, to me, it's a choice. It's not a choice, but it's something in control that you can change. You can't change your height, can't change your dick size, can't change the color of your skin, but you can change the size of your body.
Why are we celebrating this stuff?
But I agree that it's pandering.
It's pandering. That's the word I was thinking.
But to stay relevant, it's relevant pandering. I agree with Casey.
Relevant pandering. Who said it? Casey?
Casey said pandering, total pandering to stay relevant, because Sports Illustrated isn't really that relevant. So to stay relevant, pandering to the audience, and I get it.
Pandering.
But there's a reason that, elite athletes are elite athletes, or they're chosen to be on a team because they have abilities. And that's, I can't be on a team.
Kim Kardashian's also, I think, featured in
Minnesota Vikings
in the magazine. On a side note, she looks great.
I can't play alongside Kirk Cousins on the Minnesota Vikings.
Huh?
But someone who has worked to achieve what is necessary to do that can. Just like I don't think any person like how does someone like who was the cover person last year or the year before like
Camille
Kostek. Like how does she feel that she puts in all this effort and makes all these sacrifices to look a certain way, and then someone who doesn't necessarily make these sacrifices gets on the cover?
That's my only issue with this. It's so forced. It's pandering. The end. Moving on. It's so obvious. And, you know, people in this country are delusional, too, because there's so many overweight people who think they've got curves. You don't have curves. You're just overweight. So let's stop saying that, too. And let's stop saying, you know, bring back Marilyn Monroe. You know, yeah, I don't think she was even that big, Marilyn Monroe. And you don't need to be stickly either.
Oh, speaking of.
You know, but there's a level of fitness and health that we should
strive for.
Like, stop tearing that down and stop boosting up things that we shouldn't be striving for.
We tie in two stories together. Kim Kardashian, Marilyn Monroe. At the Met Gala, she wore Marilyn Monroe's dress that she sang to the happy birthday to the president in.
Rich wore a Tim Tuffle jersey.
He did. And the Met Gala, I love it. She's getting a huge amount of flack for that because this is a historical artifact. It's not only a
David Wells wore Babe Ruth's hat on the mound.
Fashion, all this kind of stuff, and they're saying that it was very inappropriate for her to wear the original dress because you're ruining it. She could have ruined it, like exposing it to the elements. You know, wasn't made. It was made for Marilyn Monroe specifically. It wasn't made for Kim Kardashian. So I just heard that she got a lot of flack for that.
Well, like I said,
just
Kim
to tie
Kardashian,
two things together.
She looks great in her Sports Illustrated photos. She looks fantastic. But again, that's all fake and plastic. We get all that, but she looks good. All right, so Nasty Nestor, we talked about that. Steve Aoki, who I feel like he's one of those guys, if you don't have a picture of you and Steve Aoki jumping together, like, where the fuck you at?
Rich, do you have him?
I don't have
Steve Aoki. I think I do somewhere. Steve Aoki, by the way, pretty funny cameo in Senior Year with Rebel Wilson.
I'm good on that. He took. I'm just kidding. It's the all-time.
Was it?
They're saying the
cameo?
all-time.
It was
worst,
super cute.
Worst first pitch ever in Boston the other day.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it was like forced again.
Did he jump while he did it?
I don't know if it was intentional, but Steve Aoki, music producer, superstar, DJ, threw out a first pitch, and it was worse than Baba Booey's.
Oh, boy.
It's okay.
Every year or so, someone's going to be added to the worst pitch list, and, it's just bound to happen, so.
Oh, my God. Where did it go?
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's just pathetic.
Where did it go?
He get,
let's stick to throwing cakes, man.
Whoa.
Let's stick to throwing cakes, man.
they're saying that's the worst of all time.
Didn't work out for me.
All right, thanks, Steve Aoki. Amber Turd was destroyed on trial yesterday. A lot of viral clips of her basically just not coming clean that she hadn't donated the $7 million.
That was so funny because the defense, Johnny Depp's prosecutor, went at her, and I loved it because because Amber Heard said that she was going to donate the $7 million she got from Johnny Depp to charity, and she is disguising the word donated as I pledged to do it, meaning I haven't done it yet. And they're like, so have you donated the money? She's like,
I use pledged, and donated as synonyms. You're not answering the question, Mrs. Heard.
Ms. Heard, have you given the money? Yeah. Have you donated? I've pledged. No. And I love how they cut her off. Like, no.
It was awkward.
Stop it.
It was awkward. So, yeah, that continues to go on. And in other Johnny Depp news, Jerry Bruckheimer.
Would you agree, by the way, that no matter how the outcome happens, that Johnny Depp got his reputation back and people think she's nuts?
Maybe in the court of public opinion, but Jerry Bruckheimer, who does the Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever you say. I say Caribbean. Movie said that Johnny Depp is not going to return to the franchise. Not at this point, but the future is yet to be decided.
Ooh.
And right now they're focused on Margot Robbie, I think, as a potential female lead.
Didn't they
moving
say
forward.
that, like, in the trial that it would require? Didn't they offer, like, say, if they paid you something, would you go
and
back
100 alpaca?
Yeah, 100 alpaca. He's like, no. As a matter of fact, the thought of doing it makes me grumpy.
I have one alpaca right here. No, it's one alpaca.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that what he was talking about? Bags.
It's an alpaca. Yeah.
If Johnny Depp got 1 million of those,
again, he says not at this point in regards to him bringing Johnny Depp back. Future is yet to be decided. Also, I mentioned that nasty Nestor. They're trying to cancel him at the height of his career. Neil Patrick Harris, Rich, from 2011, he hosted a Halloween party or some shit like that. And pictures surfaced of, I mean, again, just bad decision making, in my opinion. But Neil Patrick Harris had an Amy Winehouse corpse charcuterie or cake or something like that. And pictures got out there, and he's now like apologizing, and it was in bad taste. And I'm sorry, I'm Neil Patrick Harris. I didn't mean to be an asshole. And it really is in bad taste, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I don't think I would do that. It's really awkward. It's the corpse of Amy Winehouse.
a photo for a Halloween theme party my husband and I hosted 11 years ago. It was regrettable then and regrettable now.
Yeah, but the picture's like, it's pretty gruesome. It's like,
I don't care if it was 10 years ago. Neil Patrick Harris getting an Amy Winehouse's corpse meat platter 3 months after her tragic death is so disturbing. That's someone's daughter, friend, loved one, and is undeniably her.
It's a little off color for a guy that you see as, you know, jazz hands, Mr. Nice Guy.
Do we have a picture of this?
Yeah, it's the pictures are out there. It's weird. You know, it just goes to show you that, yeah, Dave's right. Like, Holly weird is a real thing. It's like, yeah, you're talented. We admire you, but there's something fucking a little off because as a regular guy, and I think it works against Rich and I sometimes.
Oh, that's highly inappropriate.
That's what I'm saying. That's some shit I would never even, I would be like, yo, I don't know about that.
Rich, have you seen the photo?
I'm just a regular dude. I'm not weird enough for that.
This is highly inappropriate.
I agree. It made me think differently of him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is highly inappropriate.
Like there's something now you look at that side by side with Neil Patrick Harris. We've met him, he's a great guy, but don't you see a demonic look in his face now?
The corpse of Amy Winehouse, it's called.
Don't you see like maybe like these guys have made a deal with the devil and they're a little off something?
Jeez.
It does make you look at them a little different. A little weird.
Like it's one thing to make an off-color joke. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
amongst friends.
I'm not going to harp on it. People, maybe it was meant to be funny and it just went wrong. We all make mistakes, put it that way.
I have a question.
What?
Who released the photo, or where was the photo found?
I don't know. But today I think is Bob Saget's birthday. I think.
Yeah.
So
it would have been his birthday, and you know whose birthday it is, Covino?
I know you do.
Craig Ferguson, 60 today. So our buddy Craig Ferguson.
Birthday, Craig. It's also National Idaho Day. So shout out to Jordan. Do you know why it's National Idaho Day, Rich?
This is the day they became a state.
Yes, 43rd state in 1863. And shout out to Matt in Idaho and Wes in Idaho and all of our Idaho friends. Jordan's family, who's great.
1863, Jim Nance turns 63. How old do you think Trent Reznor is today?
65.
58.
57. Good guess.
9 Inch Nails. All right. Other shout outs aside from Trent Reznor. Shout out to Michael Graham, Steve Clavette, Stefan Ost, Rick Stankavich, or is it Stankavich? Brad Freed, Matt Peabody, Idahoan, Gio, Sean Owens, and it's Nick DeGroot's birthday, right? Nick DeGroot. Oh, speaking of Nick DeGroot, and by the way, happy birthday, Nick. Have a great day. Did you see that Nick the Slasher McGirt passed away over the weekend?
We didn't mention it, yeah.
At 60-something. Famous face.
Fred Ward.
Yeah, he looks like the poor man's like Charles Bronson, kind of. He has that kind of look. He always played like a villainous sort of dude, and we've referenced him so many times in Naked Gun. That's where I knew him best, but a famous face growing up. What's his name, Spot?
What was he best known for besides Naked Gun? I feel like there's another mainstream movie where it's like, oh, of course.
He was in Sweet Home Alabama.
Yes.
But he was also in, was it Tremors?
Yeah, he was labeled as like Tremors star. I know him as Nick the Slasher McGirt, who was in prison with Leslie Nielsen in Naked Gun.
He had such a famous face. I agree.
Face.
I feel like we should be able to name more things he was in because it's like that, and that's not even a picture of him. That's good, Spot.
I know. I like every picture I tried to open was tiny.
Either way, we didn't mention that. But how old was he? Like 60 something? What's his name? Spot
79.
Fred Ward.
Fred Ward was 79.
I think so. Hold on.
Wow. So that's your rando news and your shout outs of the day.
Here he is with the bacon.
That's not a good picture of him, though.
God damn it.
It really isn't. It's not how I recognize him. But either way, actor. And
like that. That's how I recognize him.
Yeah. That guy. He passed away over the weekend. Definitely, character actor.
Show me that photo
famous
again.
face that you've seen if you've watched movies growing up. Yeah, that's good enough. Rest in peace, buddy. And
I wanted to ask you one last thing, and then we'll go because we're running late. Late for what? I don't know. Max Scherzer, asshole or fucking doing his job when he didn't want to get off the pitcher's mound because the first pitch person came there a little late.
Asshole. But people love him for it. He's in his zone. I get it. He's got a job to do.
Every team he's ever played for, they talk about how Max Scherzer's a great teammate, but when he's pitching, he paces the dugout. He's like in a fucking zone.
I get it. What he's doing is serious. He doesn't take it lightly, so I respect all that, but it was a weird look for me, even though I saw that most of the feedback was like, that's why I love Max Scherzer. So I see both sides.
What happened was, it was like Asian American night, and they had some ambassador to the U.S. that was going to throw out the first pitch, but it was a rain delay and everything. So Max Scherzer's already doing his warm-ups, and then they were like, oh, the guy showed up. He's here now. First pitch, get him out there. But Max Scherzer's already in the zone, and he doesn't even like care or see out of his peripherals.
He doesn't stop.
There's a guy that wants to do the first pitch. And at that point, he was not moving, and people are like criticizing, and other people, like Covino said, are saying like, that's why I love him. Focus.
Yeah. He's focused. And you know what? He is right. Technically, he's right. They're on such a strict schedule. They're such robots and creatures of habit that if he's already in his warm-ups, he's in his zone, he's not stepping off the mound to go through the, what's it called? What's the word I'm thinking of?
Go through the motions?
No, just to stop and let this person throw out their first pitch, and then he's cold
Spot,
again.
there's a video of it if you want to show it real quick. It's sort of funny how like the guy's just standing there, and then they're like, just come back. Scherzer's in his zone.
Yeah, it definitely rubbed me a wrong type of way, but I also understand.
I'm a Mets fan, and I think it was sort of like, I was like, really? They couldn't let the guy throw the pitch, but then I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, that when your pitcher's already warming up after a delay, like, it's kind of rude. You're right.
Kind of rude. It was a little rude, but didn't want to break his momentum, and he didn't have time for the ceremonies. That's the word I was thinking of, Jim. Like, the game's starting.
Yeah, blow it up, Spot.
Oops. Sorry.
No, that's what Spot did to your toilet this morning, Rich.
Oh, definitely.
So there's the guy. He's standing there, and Max Scherzer's already warming up. They're like, come on back here.
He doesn't even acknowledge her. You know what Max Scherzer said? Oh, yeah, you're doing the first pitch. Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Oh, you're throwing the first pitch? Okay.
And yesterday, Rich, I felt inspired because you guys called me a fancy boy. So I took a half hour out of my day to
He's a fancy boy.
Show you some of my fancy boy life. I showed you my watches and some of my fancy things and my bags and things like that. Took you behind the velvet rope on our Patreon for your tier 2 subscribers. And after our show today, if you missed it, please check it out. I gave you a catch up on my life, my personal life, our career, and a little show and tell. So catch up and show and tell of my lavish fancy boy life on Patreon, Behind the Velvet Rope with me, your boy, Steve Covino. Please check it out and leave a comment because I did it a little late last night, so a lot of people missed it. But please check it out today after the show.
All right, you know what?
Thank you.
Maybe you inspired me. Maybe tonight I'll add to the fun and give everyone another Behind the Velvet Rope. I'll do a little Dickie's Texas life. Glimpse into my day-to-day here at Sarah's parents'
Well,
house.
if you can't sleep tonight, again, because you don't have edibles, you should do one in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I'm going to sleep without my drugs.
That's what it sounds like.
What am I going to do?
I mean, that's what I hear.
All right, I'll see you bozos later. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye. Bye, fancy boys.
Bye.